sad. I think that
Oh,
you guys
JR, hate
are
to interrupt
keeping
you.
a secret.
I'm sorry, buddy. I was just looking at the top of my screen. I just added us to the Real Fisherman page and my page. I noticed we were only going out on your page live, or am I missing something?
No, I mean, yeah, if it let you do that, that's awesome.
It's letting me. I don't know if it's going out. You don't. You usually do that. You didn't add the pages tonight.
I added it. I thought I did. I might have
Oh, I
missed
didn't see them at the top of my screen.
it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, just keep on rolling here. I never had a lot of success cut baiting on southeastern reservoirs. For example, Clark Hill, even at home. I'm lying. I have had success cut baiting on Norman in the spring, but other than that, like going to Clark Hill, Harwell, any of the Savannah River chain lakes, any of the other lakes on the Catawba like Hickory. As far cut baiting, I just never had a lot of success, and I think it has a lot to do with current. I think when you're cut baiting, I think you're more likely to catch bigger stripers if you're fishing in current, and that's what everybody leaves out. You hear that all the time in the striper industry, in the striper world. Everybody says you want to catch big fish, cut bait. But if you go down when the water temp's 80 degrees on a reservoir and you're fishing, 37 feet of water off of a point with cut bait and they're not moving any water, you're probably not going to fucking catch anything. Sorry, you're probably not going to catch anything. It's probably going to be, catfish or something.
Yeah, I agree with you. For me, cut baiting, about the only time, back in the day when I did live bait, that is, I only cut bait in the spring. And every time I cut baited, it was always in some kind of current scenario, whether it was the river or my favorite, the nuke plant in the south end. That's where I always cut baited fish at.
Exactly.
And like anything else, did pretty good. But, I would like to add insight to it, but that's really the only time I ever really tried per se. So, springtime was great and didn't really try hard summer, fall, winter at all. So, I mean, I did catch some in the wintertime. But yeah, current was a common theme always.
That's really bad in the striper world is the riddles. Like Wes just said, you use cut bait if you want to catch big fish. But that's all he said. Like, he didn't tell you, like, where, when, how, why. He just said
any time of year.
Striper fishermen are the world's worst at that. They love like these riddles. Like, you don't get that in the catfish world. Like, guys don't just give you riddles. They don't give you anything. At least you do get riddles in the striper world.
In the wintertime, when I cut bait in the winter, I like to find, and there again, water temperature is a big deal. When the water gets in the upper 50s, middle 50s, I like to cut bait real shallow water in the morning, and I'll put bait on the bank that the sun's shining on first. I do not cut bait deep water in the wintertime. I've never had no luck doing that. All the few fish I've caught in the wintertime has been in the summer. I mean, in shallow water, but most of my big fish have been caught in the spring and the summer. Even fall has never really been that good for me. Spring and summer is my two favorite times to fish big fish.
If y'all were wanting to catch
more bigger fish being caught like in June, I feel like June's the month that a lot of guys on all reservoirs catch big fish.
Yep. Yeah. June, it's right before that summer solstice, right before like June the 21st. What is the first day of summer? 21st, somewhere around in there. It's like that. Any transition, any like lunar or seasonal transition, it seems like fishing is good.
James Long, right quick, I want to answer James' question. James, we'll be down in the lake tomorrow. We're going to leave soon as Lori gets off work, so I'll be down there about 6 o'clock, a little bit after.
As far as why, I don't know. Does it have to do with tidal bulge or our distance from the moon? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. Post spawn, I don't know.
If I wanted to be nothing but a big fisherman, I had the time, because this would require like a lot of time. It couldn't be like a small sample size. You would have to spend like loads and loads of hours on the lake to find this out. But I would try to find where the gizzard shad were. As far as like our local lakes, Wes, Pete, Yadkin, Catawba, Savannah, all of the southeastern, reservoirs and rivers. Our biggest bait fish is the gizzard shad. Those gizzard shad, they get huge, It's nothing to catch, 15, 18 inch up to 2-pound gizzard shad in a cast net on any of our waterways. So it's the biggest bait fish. So if you're looking for trophy fish, would it not behoove you to go find where these big gizzard shad are?
Yeah.
As far as like where they are now, you might have some trouble finding them.
Lake Norman, yeah. Other lakes. What if there are just so many damn gizzard shad that you just can't get away from them? And now, it's kind of hard to fish amongst them.
Well,
Like,
you got to think it's just like every single species, all the way down to the bait fish. If you're finding a bunch of small bait fish, there's probably going to be a bunch of small fish there, because the bait fish are there for a reason. Those bait fish like threadfin shad, alewives, whatever species of bait fish it is, they spawn in certain areas. They're very, very, a lot of thought goes into these areas. I mean, they just know it instinctually, but it's the key to their preservation. That's why they're still here, is because they have that instinctual know-how to know where to spawn. And when these bait fish spawn, the young are going to be very, very susceptible to predation. Predatory fish are going to be feeding on them like crazy. So they're going to have them in an area where they can sustain, where they have plenty of food, whether it be plankton or if they're carnivorous, whatever it may be,
microorganisms,
whatever it is. So they're going to be safe. There's going to be large numbers of them. Same way, if you go on up to the food chain, on up to like catfish or striper, same thing happens. When they have their young, they have them in there. That's why stripers go up. They're anadromous. They go up to freshwater rivers to spawn. They're safe in those rivers. They're eating on all kinds of stuff in those rivers. The ecosystem is very, very broad in those. They could be feeding on one thing one day and something else completely different the next day. Then when
George, I'm going to tell you my big reason I don't like gizzard shad. Other than their
well, if you're a party fisherman, you may not like them.
No, I'm talking about the trophy. No, and this is just me.
I can answer your question for you. You want me to answer it for you, or you want me to let you?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what I'm going to tell you.
I'm going to tell you what you're going to tell me. First of all, you are importantly, you are a Tennessee fisherman. Therefore, you're going to prefer skipjack over trout. Skipjack or trout. Yeah.
But there's a reason.
That pretty much sums it up.
The big reason.
Tell us why, Wes. I can't wait to hear this.
The shapes of their body. Look at a 2-pound gizzard shad and look at a trout.
I could see that. Yeah, because they can slurp it easier.
Exactly. They can swallow it a lot better. They can get it in their mouth and get it to the hook quicker.
A trout's more streamlined, but
yeah,
you got to think though.
And a skipjack is too.
15-inch gizzard.
But a big gizzard, his body's oval. Versus these other fish are narrow. I mean,
exactly, as oval, like even a 15-inch gizzard shad, as big oval as that is, it's still thin.
Yeah, but I'm talking about getting it in their mouth.
But it's slimy. Oh my God, it's got at least 3 times the slime anything else has.
I don't know. Skipjack are pretty slimy.
A big fish is going to be able to get that down.
I don't know, JR. I don't.
But as far as keeping them alive, trout is much easier to keep alive. But
you know what's funny about a skipjack? You can put one in the average size bait tank, some bitch will die. But you can put a 10-aught hook in his mouth and just put him in outside the boat, just put him in the water, big water. It don't bother him.
That's weird. I think we had Todd Asher on the show one night. And he pretty much explained that. It's the same reason why skipjack can live in this deep of water in a bait tank, as long as they have the surface area.
Yeah.
So if you got 100-gallon bait tank, huge, at least 100, huge surface area, you don't really need but this much water, and you don't need but like a bubbler, and they do great. They do great, and there's science behind that. I couldn't tell you what it is, but
I don't know either.
It's been explained to me.
Have you ever caught a skipjack, Pete?
Yes.
They're fun as hell to catch. We call them Tennessee tarpon.
We used to have skipjack here in Baden Lake years ago. It's in the early 2000s, and for some reason they went missing. But we used to have them out here.
Shane, Shane
here's
Howard
one
and Drew Rankin caught one almost 5 pounds. Was a Tennessee state record, and Drew cut the damn thing up and used it for cut bait.
Well, listen, we don't have skipjack around here, so I don't know why you want to talk about skipjack. Let's talk about gizzard shad. Do you know how fast gizzard shad grow, Wes?
Sunshine.
Wes, do you know how fast gizzard shad grow?
I don't really fish with them. I don't know a lot about them.
I wrote it down. This is a very interesting. Well, if you would become a trophy cat fisherman like you should, then giant gizzard shad would be your favorite bait, I promise. So gizzard shad grow very quickly. They do grow 8 inches in a year. In a year's time, an 8-inch gizzard shad turns into a 16-inch gizzard shad.
Dang.
I also hear that gizzard shad will absolutely take over a lake as well.
I think so. Yeah. If the ecology of the lake isn't balanced, yes, that could happen. The same reason if you put crappie in a small pond, or they'll take it over. It'll stunt their growth because there won't be enough forage, and there'll be millions of them, but they'll all be like 6 inches, kind of like that. But in the right situation, I think the lake and the ecosystem thrives with gizzard shad. I guess if in the native situations where they're actually native to the water. I don't know. I think they're a very good bait. I remember had a really successful trip on Wiley with Shane Reel and Christopher Hovis. We got out there. We went to a back of a creek, and it was in August. And Shane Reel is the absolute messiah of net throwers. The dude, it's a work of art. It's beautiful watching Shane Reel throw a net. But he's back. We're back there in the back of a creek, and he's opening up a 12-foot net like an absolute pancake. Like there's no room for any more stretching. Like it is perfect circumference, just absolutely gorgeous.
I used to have.
He's got a man crush. I got
he's
you.
Throwing it. He's throwing it under lay downs, under brush that are hanging on over the bank. He's like getting it up under that.
I used to have perfect circumference.
The dude's got skills, man. And he's like, and I've been back there 1,000,000 times. I've thrown a net back there 1,000 times, and I had never had any kind of success catching bait like we had that day. But we caught a bunch of big gizzards. Man, we went and anchored in one of my favorite spots. It's a hero or zero spot. And we had one of the best nights of catfishing. We caught I want to say it was I think we caught one over 50. Then we caught one in the 40s, one in the 30s, and one in the 20s. I think we caught 5 fish, and the smallest one was like 20 pounds. The biggest one I think was around 50 pounds. A great night of fishing, and every one of them came on cut live. We kept them alive. We had the big old 50-gallon or 75-gallon shad shack on the boat, and we put them giant Mondo gizzards in that shad shack, and we took them out of that tank alive and cut them. And we fan casted about 10 rods around the boat, and we hammered the big fish.
Is it Mondo or Mongo?
It is whatever you want it to be.
I've heard people say different. I don't know.
I'll remember it for a little while, then I'll forget. Like I remembered it, which one it was, but now it's been so long since I've had this.
Always hear Mongo.
This subject come up, and I can't
hear
remember.
Mondo. And then we just don't give a shit. Let's call it big.
I think Scott Perry used to make fun of me because I called it Mondo, and he said it's Mongo, but I don't know. I think maybe later on I found out it's actually Mondo. I think I was right the whole time. Maybe I don't know.
What does Google say?
Oh hell, he's in the liquor.
Finishing up here. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Last night we let the liquor talk. Well, James Long said, "Get your money up. Come on the lake, Wes. Come to
James is about 2 coves over from me. James has got a place on Greenwood too. That's why he's saying that.
Okay.
JR, listen, you're probably gonna see it sooner or later, but I did it again today.
Oh boy. Did it again. What's that?
I bought a new truck.
Fuck us. Man, look at you.
Let me guess. A Dodge, another Dodge.
No, I'm done with Dodge.
No.
I bought a new Z71.
Oh, you stuck with Chevrolet?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, that's gross.
Damn,
When are you gonna get a man's truck, dude? Before you die, get a man's truck. Get rid of
Dude, I
these
do
damn
not drive
Chevrolets.
Ford. Ford's is garbage.
Well, you about. Mm.
I was considering getting myself a new truck as well. So, we on the same page, I guess.
There you go.
You don't know many men, do you? Real men, manly men.
Who are you talking to me?
Any West man, a
please.
man's man. You don't know many
Man's man right
man's
here.
man,
Boy,
man's men.
knock you the F out.
Real
Well,
men drive Ford
so let me
trucks.
ask you a question.
Okay, that's the bottom line.
You're
There ain't no
saying-
debating it. You
you're
obviously
saying-
are. You're
you're
misinformed.
You're saying you're a man's man because you drive a Ford with a 3.1 liter turbo back, some shit.
No. No. I drive a Ford truck because I'm a fucking man. Because I'm a man.
Okay.
Excuse my language.
All right.
I'm a man. Real men drive Ford trucks. We're gonna figure that out one of these
Hey,
days.
Wes,
Okay.
Chevy all the way, baby. I got you,
Thank
man.
you.
I got you.
Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you.
I tell you what, I do like that
no
Bob
name over
Seger
here
song.
talking about a Ridgeline. What's a Ridgeline? Was that a Honda?
Yeah.
That's a Honda.
Wonderful.
Honda? Yeah, I've never heard of it until now.
Looks just like a Chevrolet
No,
Avalanche.
Wesley, I don't drive a Ridgeline.
What'd you get, Wes? A Z71 with another? Was it got a 6.2?
Yeah.
That's basically what you had, right?
Yeah.
Why did you get another one if you already had one?
I wanted a white one.
Seriously?
Yeah.
White? Really? Like shit white?
No, it's
Bird
a
shit
pearl
white?
white. It's actually a pearl white.
So bird
What's that?
shit white. Oh, I can't cuss. Sorry. I can't cuss.
Oh, yeah, y'all can cuss.
I don't know how good you can see
Yeah,
that.
it's white truck with black wheels.
Yeah.
We can see the black wheels. The white truck's pretty washed
Looks
out.
blurry as shit. Well, let's try that. Might sit better this way.
So what made this better? A lot
Mhm.
better. What made you get a new truck again?
It had 3 miles on it, and it's a 2024.
Okay.
I
3
think-
miles on it. Nice.
Are you using it as like a write off to your business or something?
Yeah, I did this one.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, what are you doing? Like, if it
Listen,
weren't for
man,
that,
when
I would be like, "What are you doing, dude?"
When I walk in Fred Anderson Chevrolet there in Powderville, them motherfuckers trip over themselves to get to me. I done bought three
Here
new- I
comes
done
the guy
bought
we
three
can take
new
advantage
vehicles.
of. Here he comes.
That's my third new vehicle this year from them fools.
Wes
Damn.
walks in there like, "I'm a baller, shot caller,
caller.
20
They must call you
blades,
sir
I'm a
right away as soon as
baller."
you walk in there.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
That's right. No, I'm Mr. Rose.
That's right. Yeah, by now I should be calling you by name.
Yeah, Mr. Rose. But yeah, JR, it's fishing is fishing. And I tell people, hell, if you caught a fish every time you went, you realize how boring it would get that you wouldn't want to do it no more. I'm gonna have to come down there. I'm gonna go down to Greenwood, show James Long how to crappie fish it.
Man, Wes, I'm excited to get you up here to do some crappie fishing here one day here soon once we do what we talked about there some time ago. But
Yeah, just let me know whenever you're ready. I got you.
I already got my September schedule, so I'm ready to plan a date. Probably the last week of September might be the best, to be honest with you. But
Scotty
Yeah.
Cannon wants to come with me too.
yeah, absolutely.
All
I'll
right.
make it happen.
What y'all got planned?
Oh, nothing. Just a little something.
I mean,
John Longus. Hey, the porn star is watching us tonight. Get John on here. I hadn't seen him in a long time.
John Longest, I can't. Is he
Yeah.
watching? All right.
Yeah, he's watching.
He's probably busy with kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
John,
you guys know
want
that
on? John, if you want on, text me. There he is.
only gizzards get stunted. And
Only what?
they get only gizzard shads get stunted. I didn't know this.
What does that mean?
Ap-
Like their
appar-
growth pattern? or-
Apparently, kind of like if you were to stock crappie in a small lake, how they would overpopulate and get stunted.
Yeah.
Gizzard shad can also get stunted, but they will stop reproducing. Like they're
Really?
yeah, they
So
release
there's a reason why I asked about the whole, or I insisted about the whole pond thing or overpopulating thing earlier,
Mhm.
because my parents' pond in the backyard is full of gizzard shad. And I mean, you can't get away from them. You throw a cast net out there and just absolutely load up on, typical size was about, we'll say 3 to 5 inches. No bigger, no smaller. All the same size.
Well, that makes sense because
that's perfect party fish bait.
From what I've gathered,
they'll a little bigger than party fish, for us at least, a little bigger than party fish.
Yeah. But supposedly they'll release a pheromone to stop reproducing once they get stunted. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
One thing about gizzard shad is they are a lot more resilient in the cold. So you get these very cold winters, they will not die like threadfins will. And so that's why they seem to do better in some of these lakes like High Rock, Baden. We're not going to name Norman in this because they have the heated lakes there.
Roadkiss, Hickory, Roadkiss,
all those, yeah. So you get a lake that freezes over, like this pond, for example, I'll speak of. It had both threadfin and gizzards. And back when we had a very cold winter, about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer than that, this pond froze over to where there's about we'll say a half-inch ice. And every threadfin in that pond died, but yet the gizzard shad are still strong.
I would like to know, when they died. Did they die right before the ice formation, or did they die right after the ice formation?
I think consistently, throughout the entire process. And the weird thing is too, so you got the ice that formed. They died at some point, so they floated to the top, and when it thawed out, I'm talking about thousands of seagulls in this little pond just start picking for days, just picking them. They come out of nowhere. It's not like Lake Norman where they're always there. Like this pond never ever seen gulls. And
was it certain areas of the pond that froze over, or the entire pond?
And when I say pond, we're not talking about a small little itty bitty pond. It's like 7 acres. No, it's more like 15 acres. So it's a decent sized pond. Yeah, so the entire thing thawed out, and all of a sudden, thousands of gulls are just picking that pond for days, and then all of a sudden, gone again.
JR, I did find out something today about Greenwood. There's not blues are typically not in that lake. Scott Morgan told me the other day he caught some big blues out of Monticello and brought up there, but it's really known to be a flathead lake, and there is some big flathead catfish in Greenwood.
Okay, cool. I love flathead. Flathead's the more they're a little bit more bougie than a blue.
Stealthier. They're a little bit more stealthier than a blue.
Yeah, I guess. But they're more bougie.
A whole lot faster.
I feel like a trophy flathead's more sought after than a blue.
I think. What do you mean bougie? A flathead's ugly as hell. They're just faster.
It is ugly, but they're
fucking fish in the water.
Yeah, they all ugly. They got whiskers. They're all ugly.
You target flathead with live bait, it's got the big fantail like a striper. You get up on a point in the shallow water, and you balloon float live brim. It's a lot more involved. It's more fun. Like a big blue. You're anchoring on on a channel ledge and soaking giant piece of cut bait. You're not really doing that for a flathead. You're kind of running and gunning, fishing shallow. You got to be stealthy. You can't be shining your light up on the bank because it'll spread the bluegill, which is what they're up there feeding on. And you kind of got to be stealthy, and you're casting right up on the bank with live bait.
Now, do they like live perch? Do they like live perch?
They love live perch, live brim, live crap, anything alive. Anything is alive that's swimming. You put it on a short leader. They don't like to chase a bait like a striper. You don't want to pull up on a point and anchor up and cast a live perch out on a 7-foot leader for a flathead. That's just not going to get hit. It's just too much. They're not going to chase a bait around. They're going to sit there, and when a bait, you got like a 10-inch leader, very short leader, but a big live bait, and the flathead's just going to come up and just engulf it. Sometimes he'll kind of sit there with it. He'll turn and he'll go to swim off. A lot of guys will leave their reels in free spool when they're flathead fishing, and let it run for 5 to 10 seconds before they engage it and load it up. It's just a lot more technical than trophy blue fishing. So it's more cool, in the catfishing world.
It's not an easy button.
I mean, it's all easy for me, bruh.
Shit. That's damn mine. Tell you what, though, you might have fun with live scope at some flatheads in the summertime. You might enjoy that.
I mean, you're talking small flatheads.
Yeah, well,
these trophy
small,
fish, you're not
we'll
going to
say
be
that.
out there marking them on live scope. These guys are
I
loners.
guarantee you will. I promise you will.
These
Listen,
guys are
I've
loners.
heard different.
I
I've
see
heard
them all the
both.
time. I'm like, nope, let me move on somewhere else.
Is a flathead, are they good to eat? I've heard people say yes.
Yes.
I've heard people say no.
I can
Yes.
tell you right now, they're one of the best eating fish you'll ever put in your mouth.
Flathead is.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Absolutely. On
So
the grill.
One of the very few things I'll agree with JR with, the flatheads are actually mighty fine eating for sure.
Either blacken it like with some olive oil, get your pan real hot. Those will throw a little seasoning on it and blacken it, and it's really good that way. Or
They're just so fucking ugly. I have a hard time thinking you want to eat something that fucking ugly though.
I mean, look at a freaking grouper, dude. Those fish
Groupers
are
are
ugly.
beautiful. What you
Groupers
talking
are
about?
ugly.
Groupers
They
are
got no
fucking
whiskers,
beautiful
right?
fish. No,
These
yeah,
are ugly.
dude, groupers are beautiful.
Look at catfish. Look at blues. Look how ugly
Yeah,
blues
ugly.
are.
I ain't said nothing about them being pretty. They
When
good
you go to a
eat.
daggum fish camp, get an order of daggum salt and pepper catfish, and tell me that ain't the best with some hot sauce. That ain't the best damn eating thing you ever put in your mouth.
Nah.
It's good. They
Nah.
good. Y'all
Nah.
crazy as hell.
Catfish is good. I like catfish. I'm not. I love. Listen,
I could
love
take a
catfish.
channel cat and season that son of a gun and cook it and get Pete to try it and stick it in with some daggum grouper and mahi
No.
and wahoo.
No.
I guarantee you,
No.
It
I'll
would fit.
tell you
It would fit right in.
I'll tell
You
you
would
the
be
difference.
like, damn, that's good.
I'll pick that shit out in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it'll be bad. I'm gonna be like, all right, it's good, but it's not top 10 good.
Hey, I know y'all gonna say I'm crazy, but
You
I've
crazy.
had both. I had both one night. I'd rather eat tilapia than I had flounder.
You crazy as hell. Don't talk to me no more. That damn crazy talk. Get out of
Flounder,
here.
flounder are fishy.
Yeah,
Flounder
I'd
are
rather
they're
eat
a very
tilapia.
fishy.
I'll eat
Flounder's,
tilapia before I will
flounder's
flounder.
not that good. Flounder's just
No, it's not to me either.
it's overrated.
Yeah.
Flounder's overrated.
It very is.
I'll
I
agree
mean, I
with you
like
on
it,
that.
but
You know, flounder is good and all. You know, I think it's
Now-
hyped up because of it being a flounder per se.
Now,
but
what there is one thing that Wes says that's just absolute bullshit, and the only reason he says it's because he likes to get a rise out of everybody. He really don't fucking believe it. I
Damn.
promise you. But he says that striper ain't no good.
I don't like them. I think they're fishy.
Man, that's some of the best eating fish in the world, bro. It's like top 5, easy. I can't believe you're.
I'd rather eat a
disagreeing,
perch than a striper
Yes.
personally.
Thank you.
Pete.
Thank
You are
you.
in. Y'all are
Thank
both
you.
insane. Stripers
Thank
is
you.
where
It's
at,
good.
dude.
It's
They
good,
all
but it's
crazy.
not great.
If you were to line 1,000 people up, and
I'll
give
eat a
them
hybrid. I'd rather eat a hybrid than I had a striper.
give them a striper fillet fried in house Autry, give them a crappie fillet, give them a grouper, give them a wahoo, yellowfin tuna. Go down the list, buddy. Snapper, I don't care. You go down the list. I promise you, if you were to survey 1,000 people, 990 of them would tell you striper's the
No,
best
not
out
at
of
all.
of them.
Nah.
Not at all.
It's
Is
up
that
there. It's
maybe I'll
top
tell you
3.
that after some McKenna Creek. I don't know.
Not at all.
Top 3.
Not at
Striper's
all.
top 3.
Not at
eating
all.
fish- Best eating fish out there.
Not at all.
Nah.
Give me some crap, fresh
Heck,
water.
y'all wouldn't know. Y'all don't keep them and eat them. Y'all let them
Crappie.
go.
Oh, I
Crappie.
promise you would do.
Crappie, perch, blue cats, best three freshwater fish you're gonna eat.
I'm
Striper
gonna say
Striper
perch.
down in-
I'm gonna say perch, crappie, and flathead as far as freshwater
Yeah.
fish. Well, local to us.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad that you put flathead up there, but
striper's not even in the same boat. As far as eating.
striper's on another level.
They're
They're,
fishy.
striper are in a if you compare
Hey.
them to just freshwater fish, they're in a
So-
tier by themselves.
So let me ask you this,
Yeah,
JR. How do
fishing-
you cook your striper? Let's go ahead and talk about cooking methods.
They smell like fish ass.
House Autry, fry
Man.
'em.
Let me tell you how I like to do striper here. No joke. Marinate that shit in Texas Pete, and then House Autry. Fry it up.
Never tried it, but I'm not sure I trust you since you don't even
promise
you say that striper isn't even that good.
It's it's decent. I'm not gonna say it's top.
You're saying it's decent, but you expect me to try a recipe?
Bro,
with you?
I'm telling
No,
you.
thank you.
Telling you. Marinate that shit in Texas Pete hot sauce. for
Have you
like-
ever tried it in House Autry, fried in grease?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
apparently you
I'll tell
have.
you right now, you marinate that shit, it might change your world, man. I'm telling you. Porn
Welcome
star,
to the
there
show,
he is.
John.
What's up?
What's up?
Glad to have you on, buddy. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. What you
Well,
guys up to?
We are.
Oh, just a typical Thursday evening, I guess, of bullshitting, cussing, and a little drinking.
Very little cussing.
Oh, that's what I don't have is a drink.
We're talking about bait right now. We're talking about gizzard shad and threadfin shad, and we were mentioning earlier how gizzard shad, how they get so big, and how they can get stunted in some lakes, and
What's up, John?
What's up, Wes?
how they can
Wow.
release a pheromone to like stop spawning. And we were talking earlier, if you want to catch trophy fish in the freshwater world, if you want to catch trophy fish, e.g. stripers and catfish, then I think finding where the big gizzard shad are is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But good luck.
Pete, right quick.
Yo,
I know what we can
Those
do.
mongos.
Mongos.
Pete, you sign us up for the U.S. Open, and I'll fish with you, and then we'll trade that out on the other.
I already got a crew, man. Too late on that.
Well, can your crew do heating and air?
No.
We'll set one of them motherfuckers on the bank.
John, you this in the bank?
No.
Nah. Nah.
Well, I mean, I'll just fish my boat if
No,
you want to put me on the bank.
You're jumping on, man. We doing this. Oh,
Wes,
man.
Wes wants to fish the U.S. Open now.
That's the first I heard just now.
John, when you fish the U.S. Open, do you go by like personal experience, or do you go by like
I'm not a king fisherman.
dock talk? Like what?
No, I mean, like honestly, I mean, when I went with Pete for the U.S. Open was the first time I'd ever targeted king. Like I've always heard they were trash fish, don't eat them, so I've never targeted them.
They're really not that good. I don't think they're that good. Like
I mean, Pete makes a good bacon wrap king ball.
Was it not good?
I mean, it's good, but I think
they're-
anything in bacon wrap.
True,
is-
yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
good.
they're nowhere near a striper. They're nowhere near as good as a striper.
No.
Yeah. See, John knows.
I mean,
Pete.
it's dark. It's dark
Pete,
meat. It's-
Pete, do you think a king compares to a striper?
No, that's not.
What? So if a striper's
Striper's better,
decent,
for sure.
if a striper's decent, then what is a king? It must be absolute trash.
King's in the middle, somewhere. There's worse than a
So
king.
it's less than decent.
It's
'Cause
less than
you said a striper's decent.
Hey, I will still eat a fucking king. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I will eat the hell out of
All
it.
right, I'm just wondering here. I think you're getting confused here.
I'm not getting confused. I'll admit, Striper's
being-
better than King.
You're being a bit
Here's-
hypocritical here.
No, I'm telling you like it is, man. Striper's better than King for sure.
I mean, king's better than bluefish.
Yeah,
Anything's better than bluefish.
man. I think a King's better than a flounder. To be honest with you.
I would rather eat
Nah.
a bluefish is a bait. I mean, I know people eat them like the day they catch them. They say you can't freeze them.
Dude, I grew up eating flounder and bluefish. Like, I mean, that's
well,
just-
if you bleed
that's
them
what my
out,
grandpa caught. Like when we went fishing, and I
yeah.
grew up eating bluefish, and I didn't know any better until I
If
got
you-
older. It was like
if you
bluefish
bleed
is
them
trash.
out
I'm like,
and-
well, I mean, they're all right if anything's
Exactly.
good fried.
If you bleed them out and eat them the same day you caught them, they're decent. They're good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, we I grew up on fried fish. I mean,
but I
so
think
everything is good, really. I mean,
everything. Yeah. Man, I've eaten croaker. I went out and caught a mess of croaker. I've even eaten pinfish. I tried pinfish once. I'm not gonna lie. I tried a.
you're like those guys on NC Offshore.
I went
I
out
just
one
caught
night.
this pinfish. Is it any good? And you're like, I mean,
I
try
went
it.
out
And
and
then
I
some
caught-
people
I
are like,
caught, like-
oh, the head's the delicacy.
I caught like 75 trash fish, man, one night on fishing dock lights at Holden. And it was croaker, it was pinfish, anything you can imagine, any trash fish you can imagine. I kept it. And I had like 75. I cleaned every one of them and fried them in house archery and grease and ate them.
So you were
Yeah, but you
just-
struggling,
Oh,
Gerald?
look at this, Wes. He's talking about meat hogs, and look at him. He was a meat hog back then, more
Hey,
so,
let me
than,
ask-
more
let
so
me
than
ask y'all
we
a
ever were.
question. When I lived in South Florida with my dad, he was a plumber, and I went to visit that year, and they were doing a house on a canal, and he got me some squid, and I was catching these fish, and he said I wasn't really big into eating fish. I was a teenager then, but I was catching these fish called a toady, like a toadfish.
Yeah.
He said that was one of the best fish you could eat.
They say it is. It's kind of like it's these back straps or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He said it's like frog. I remember he said it's white, like frog legs.
I just can't do it. I ain't never tried one. But
Yeah,
I've
but,
caught a million of them, but I can't.
But yeah, he said toadfish was very good, and I caught like 12 that day. And then him and Ed Price, they cooked them at night when we got off work. So
What about gar? Have y'all tried any gar, like needle nose gar?
I've heard it's good though.
They say it's good. The back
Yeah.
straps from a gar. I've always wanted to try it. I never have.
I've put one in my boat and I'll never do another one. It was about 4 foot long and that thing made the biggest freaking mess. I
They're
was like,
so fun, dude. You're sporty. They'll be tail walking.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
they fight
but-
like crazy.
that thing knocked buckets over and
Oh,
tackle everywhere. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I wasn't prepared for him to be in the boat. I said,
They'll lay
never
you
again.
open too, man. Their gill plates are like razor blades.
Never again.
They're top of the food chain in freshwater, aren't they?
You know, I think they just look scary because if you look at the one like at Bass Pro, if you go to Bass Pro, there's always a gar in their tank. And if you go up and you watch that gar, you sit there and watch that gar for like an hour. Like it never like feeds viciously. Like when they feed them, like they dump all the live fish in there. The gar, like it like uses its pec fins and it like backs up real slow and it like gets beside the bait fish and it's not like you think. It ain't like "Brr!" like it's
Gio,
just-
try to bite
it's
your
like-
ear again. Try to bite your ear.
They're they're just docile. Like they're not like chomping stuff, you know.
What in freshwater will kill one or attack one or try to eat it?
Apparently something will because I have caught them with like big, huge bite marks on them.
Maybe
I
a
don't know.
turtle.
I don't know. Maybe a flathead.
Shit, a flathead ain't gonna take no chunk out of no gar.
Hey, man,
You
ain't
gotta
nothing
have
mess-
deep- dude, have you ever tried to clean a gar?
ain't nothing. I know. It's like going through like
Bowfish, man.
armor.
That's the biggest predator of a gar.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a gar that I've actually cleaned and eaten was a big ass redfish. Those scales are rough to get through with an electric fillet knife. I want to catch an alligator gar from Texas. That's one of my bucket list
Is it?
trips.
I
Mhm.
guess you got to talk to Shane Reel because apparently he's got a hookup down there. And was it Louisiana, Texas?
I don't want to do it with a guide. I want to go do it on my own. I'd rather go on my own and get skunked than go with a guide and catch a world record.
I had to Google what eats gar, and it says larger fish such as alligator gar will eat gar, and birds such as osprey and eagles
Mm?
will
Oh,
target gar.
Shoot, yeah, man, a big old eagle or
And
an osprey.
river otters.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what will take a chunk out of them. There you go.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what's scary is to go out there and kayak fish on a reservoir at night and be about 20 foot from the bank and hear something go into the water and you're trolling along the bank for catfish. And all of a sudden, 2 foot from you in the middle at 3 o'clock in the morning, this big, huge kaboosh. And it's this huge beaver. Apparently you got a little too close for comfort for him and he swam out there and he's trying to scare you. Man, that will scare the crap
Hell
out
yeah,
of you.
would.
Hey,
you ever
last
been like-
month,
You ever
Last
been
month-
night fishing and you hear the dang raccoons fighting all around you?
Yes. And I'll tell you something else scary is when those
Isn't
big
that
old blue
crazy stuff out
heron, those blue heron, you won't see them and they'll be like in a tree and you'll be paddling by them and they'll come out of the tree all of a sudden and be like, "Ah!" like
They can take, yeah. Well, it sounds like a pterodactyl take off in
Yes.
front of you.
Yeah.
last month when me and Mike, when I was in Venice, we was leaving to go to Dollar General. But when you come out of the marina, I went to make that left turn, and there's a canal right there across the road. Mike said, "Oh, back up," and I back up, and I looked. He said, "Look out there, look," and there's like 30 sets of eyes. I said, "Them alligators." He said, "Them are alligators." So we get out of the. Mike gets out of the truck. I didn't get out of the truck, and he said, "Give me something to throw at them." So I had some chicken that I stopped somewhere there in New Orleans, got me a bucket of chicken. And he broke those chicken, was throwing chicken bones. Listen, dude, and this son of a bitch come up on the bank, and I'm not exaggerating. He looked like he was 18 foot long. I said, "Damn, dude." I said, "Mike," I said, "What you gonna do if that son of a bitch comes after you?" He said, "Just leave the truck door open. I got running to the truck." Listen, he kept throwing them chicken bones over there, breaking them in half. Dude, and they was 6 alligators come up on the bank. And that one, dude, that I can't even imagine something like that. His teeth was like he needed to go to a dentist. His shit was all like gapped up and shit, one out and one in, one out and one in. And he opened his mouth to get that chicken bone. Dude, I can't even imagine one of them getting on you in the water.
Did you actually hear them like huffing at all? Like
yeah, blowing. Yeah, they were blowing.
Right? Yeah, that shit sounds freaky, don't it?
Yeah,
I ran up on a bunch of them in a 1442 Alumacraft with a 25 Johnson tiller on Waccamaw River access. I put in there on the ICW, shot up, hit the first closest creek. I was in about 6 foot of water. There's sawgrass everywhere. And it was before LED lights. So I just shined a 1,000,000 candle watt power light that you hook to your lead battery, you know, and I shined it out through there, and it was nothing but eyeballs. They were all scurrying down in the water. I was like, oh my God. See, I'd come there earlier that day and I saw an alligator over beside the boat ramp. And I was like, I'm not going to see any out here fishing, but no, man, they're all over that river.
They're all over Venice too. I didn't know that alligator. He said, this place is eat up with alligators.
Yeah. That's terrifying. You can't like go out there and like fish in peace, like, and at night, like you're not going to take a nap.
Well, JR, you remember how when you leave in Venice Marina and we made that left turn to go out of the marina? As soon as she made that left turn, there's a little opening right there, right across that little canal right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they were.
Yeah, I could see that, man. I'm not Florida either. I'm not doing any kind of bank fishing in Florida or Louisiana. No, thank you.
You bank fish at Santee, don't you?
I'm extremely careful. I mean, I'm constantly aware of my surroundings. You know, I've fallen in Santee before, and like just falling in and getting back up is you're pretty worried that a gator's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna happen. But
so when I was in Santee back in December, I was told watch out for the gators in the bank. With the dog, running around. Never did see the first gator. I know they're lurking out there somewhere.
Oh yeah, they would. They get a dog, especially if they feel intimidated by one, they'll attack a dog.
Did I tell you I fell in the lake? Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. Went out to Wiley, caught some bait. Got to my first spot, which was a main lake point. Anchored up, double anchored. Went to the bait tank, grabbed a live brim out of the bait tank, hooked it on a big 10-aught circle. I was targeting flatheads. Walked up to the bow of the boat so I get a good cast from the bow because I got my T-top and the rods are in my T-top and everything on the back. So I go up to the bow of my boat to cast, and I get up, and my gunnels are huge. So I stand up, I get up on top of my gunnel, and I click it in free spool, and I'm getting ready to cast, and all of a sudden I lose my balance. In the daggum lake I went.
It sucks getting old, don't it?
My God, dude. I'm holding the rod up out of the water. I'm like, trying to come up, I'm trying to save my rod, and the guy I was fishing with, he grabs my rod, and puts it in the boat, and I swam around to the back, lower the fishing ladder or the swim ladder down and get back up in the boat. I take my shirt off, my shorts off, I wringing them out, and I'm like, thank God it's August, dude, because we'd be going to the house. But yeah, that's the first time that's ever happened.
Let me ask you a question, JR. I heard, I hear people talk about this all the time. Everybody talks about fishing a point.
Mm-hmm.
What's the big deal with points, and what is it about a point that just draws a fish to it? Because it's shallow?
Man, where do I start?
Yeah, Pete, where do you start?
Pete, help me out on this one.
Then I'll structure everything all in one spot.
Yeah. Like a lot of your main lake points, very rarely will they be a bluff bank. Like 9 times out of 10, at least one side of a main lake point. And when I say a main lake point, I mean like if you picture a reservoir, and you have a creek, you have a creek. So at the mouth of that creek, where that creek starts, at the very mouth of it on each side, you have that's what main lake points are. And most of the time, they go way out. They taper out. So it's a very gradual decline into the water. And what makes that so good for fishing is the predatory fish will chase bait fish up on those points until they run out of real estate. What they say, running out of real estate, they run out of water because the point gets more shallow until the bait has no more water to run up into. And then the fish they eat them in shallow water. So you got a lot of living and dying going on those points. That's one of the main reasons they're such a good place to fish.
Okay, another question. what qualifies? I mean, why do we call like these little branches that go off of main bodies of water? Why do they call them creeks? If a creek's not feeding it, why is it called a creek?
That's a good question. I think it probably originated from because most of your natural reservoirs, the creeks were actually creeks. They were fed by a creek once the reservoir formed.
Well,
but,
I can name you about 35, 38 different creek names on Hartwell. And if there was that many fucking creeks feeding Hartwell.
Yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
Maybe at one time they were, or it's just how the geology of the land was when they dammed the river. You know, there was a lot of valleys, so the water ran up into those valleys, and it formed a long arm off of the reservoir, and they just call it a creek. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I don't know. I asked, so I'd say it sounds right to me because I don't know.
I think you can find some springs. I think if you were to spend enough time out on your local reservoir, I think a lot of these creeks at one time, like maybe they originated from being a spring-fed creek, and you could probably use a water temp device. They sell these things that you could,
small little creek that feeds into each and every one of these arms. That's why it has a name.
yeah, you could do some water temperature samples. Like they sell these things that you can hook to your fishing line and drop down, and you can go up into these creeks and start, especially if it's a stratified reservoir, you can start hitting the thermocline, the hypolemnium, the epithelium, and recording these temperatures. And if you were to find a spot in that creek that had a much lower temperature in the bottom layer, then you probably found a spring, and that's an excellent place to fish.
Damn, look at that look at that bougie bedroom. You know you're rich white folks when you got a piano in the living room.
You got a damn piano back there in the background. My God.
Yeah, you know that's rich white folks when you got a piano in your living room beside a fireplace.
I'm pretty sure that's like a stock image on StreamYard.
I think it is actually. Yeah.
No, really? That ain't his house?
No, I don't think his house is far from that, but
I could see John playing a piano though.
Right?
Could you really?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't. Come on.
I could see John playing a piano. He's got that bougie look to him.
Don't let John fool you. John ain't bougie. He pretends to be bougie.
He's bougie as hell. I've been around him. Don't you worry. He's bougie.
I mean, just having money doesn't mean that you're bougie.
No. I'm saying like he drinks beer with his pinky out.
I think he has to act bougie. I don't think he's like really.
Like this.
He sips beer with his. It's not any drink like beer with his pinky out like that. It's like
Yeah, you're not gonna catch me. Now,
yeah, exactly.
I will take a drink sometimes, and I'll catch my pinky like trying to come up, and I'll be, oop, nope, come back down.
He's not here to defend himself. I'm sure he hears.
So I'm out on the U.S. Open, Pete. Is that how this is played out?
We've already established 4 guys. If someone backs out, dude, absolutely, man. But yeah,
I'm just I don't care about
me, John, Cody, and what's his name, Mark.
How many of them do heating and air?
None.
Well,
that's a fake background, by the way, Wes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you don't want nobody to see what your house looks like.
It's a playroom with a bunch of shit behind me.
Dude, we don't care. Hey, listen, I know what it's like. I love my grandkids. You ain't got to hide the toys.
I think, there's a bed back behind me right now.
Hey, listen, we need some professionalism on the show, so let him have his green screen.
Right. Hey, speaking of the U.S. Open, Wes, are you and your wife going to drive down there and spectate again this year?
Well, because my aunt and them wanted us to come visit, so yeah, we might come down. And I wanted to go to the Big Rock this year, but man, I had so much work. I had to make that money, so I keep buying new trucks.
Not right.
So, yeah. Who won it this year, by the way?
Who did? I don't know. John keeps track of that.
Yeah.
I think J.R. Cochran. Have y'all heard of him?
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
Game time.
Game time.
Yep, that's the alias I used.
Damn.
What'd you win?
$100,000.
Didn't J.R. Cochran bring in
1.8 million?
Well, I kind of.
Hey, did Jordan fish it? Did Michael fish it this year?
Yeah, he did.
I donated a lot of it.
I don't think they weighed anything.
He needs to get him a different captain.
Get that Wesley Rose running that boat, right?
I believe I catch more than his captain's catching.
I think they did pretty good in that the other tournament here just last week, right?
A White Marlin Open.
Yeah, I think they weighed in some decent tuna, I believe is what I saw.
That's the largest marlin tournament in the world.
That's out of New Jersey, right?
Maryland, Ocean City.
Maryland. How many boats are in that thing? About 200?
No, I think it's like 400 boats, close to 500. It's big. It's
Oh,
big.
Pete, hey, JR, Chuck Timon and them got into a big tuna.
Mhm.
He said they fought that thing for over 4 hours and got it down to about 30 feet below the boat. And he made a crazy turn and spit a hook. He said they fought that thing for 4 hours. He said that tuna was humongous.
Yeah, that's
He
probably
said it
a
looked like a fucking
600 pound bluefin tuna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a bluefin.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said it looked like a whale under the boat.
I couldn't imagine.
4 hours fighting that fish. He on a Stella, I think he says a Stella. He had a Stella 20.
Yeah. Wow. That was
That's
a
the only
fight.
reason he bought that reel.
Stand up gear.
Yeah.
Nice.
4 of them fought it. Four people fought that fish for over 4 hours and lost. it.
Yeah, that's tough, but what's weird is that's like all too prevalent. Like that happens a lot when you're bluefin tuna fishing. You invest hours into fighting a fish and lose it, and that's not uncommon. That happens.
Were they fishing for tuna, or were they just fishing for striper and have a tuna
No,
rod out?
They had a tuna rod out fishing for a striper and it hit.
Yeah, because the tuna will be with the striper a lot of
Yeah, he
times.
said he hit a big bluefish. Well, they actually caught a bluefish, and they just put it out since they had the rod on the boat and hooked up.
Yeah, I remember back in 2010, Morehead City. They were the bluefin tuna were running with the stripers, and all your striper fishermen were complaining about having their gear torn up by the bluefin tuna. Like they were taking like Daiwa Saltuses and just absolute like Shimano Takoda, just striper, good robust striper reels, and just ripping the gut slap out of them.
Yeah. What was in Oak Island? I want to say it was 2008 where the bluefins showed up for like a month. And king fishermen were hooking up with bluefins out there, and obviously that didn't do very well.
Yeah.
Now, could you catch a big blue? Could you catch a bluefin like on a 30 wide, or would you have to be at least a 50 or better?
No, you could do it on.
I mean, you can catch a dang bluefin on any dang thing as long as prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Get
catch it on
everything
30.
in and haul and
chase her down.
loose drag, baby. Let them run.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Loose drag.
Yeah, just pretend like it's 100-pound wahoo.
Oh,
Yep.
Except have like a lot more patience.
Pete, what are you thinking about next Tuesday?
Bottom fishing. If it happens, we'll see. I can't do Wednesday because I got to be back at work on Thursday. So,
Yeah.
if it works out Tuesday, might be a possibility. And now all of a sudden, this hurricane will get stronger now. So we'll see.
well, Ernesto.
Ernesto, that's right.
All
You
the
ain't
water
flying
down
nowhere
there
near it. I thought it was
melt.
supposed to go straight up the coast.
It is, but if you get a Cat 3 or Cat 4 hurricane offshore, it's gonna bring some good swells still.
Well,
Wes, we're working on an hour and 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, we can call it. I'm tired. I stayed at that
We'll
dealership.
go backstage and
about
bullshit. We can bullshit for real backstage if you want to.
I just grabbed a beer.
I know, right?
Over here.
We can
Well,
bullshit.
Well, you guys just stay on then. I'll be back momentarily. You guys just stay on. Have a good time.
We're
I'll be
gonna
back.
mix
Are you gonna go make a drink?
Yeah, I'm not rushing anybody off or anything.
I'll go get a beer too. Let's go backstage. We'll talk privately.
No, we'll stay live.
Okay.
Let's stay live. Yeah,
All right. Well, I'm gonna go smoke. John, see you in a second.
we'll be back. Yeah, I'm
right.
gonna play a little video here while we're gone here.
Do, 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 do.
I got a question for Wesley. Hey,
That was our Venice trip.
So anticlimactic. John, you ready for the U.S. Open? I'm fucking ready, man. I'm ready. Stoked.
Let's do it. It's so far away.
It is, man. It is.
So what do you get in addition if you register early?
There is a drawing, a special category for early entry, random drawing winners, like $500. And it's not one boat. I think it's like 5 boats. So the chance is there to at least get gas money back, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty flexible this year in October, so if like weather causes a delay or something, I can probably reschedule any weekend in October. Unlike years prior.
Well, let's hope that it's good weather.
Yeah, I agree.
That way we can just keep it that weekend.
Yep.
Um,
So what's the status of the whole pool in the backyard? I saw that on one of your stories, I guess, you had that they were installing it. Is it
they're waiting on inspection and then concrete. They've got like 2 more weeks. It's supposed to be ready Labor Day.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
So it was also supposed to be ready Memorial Day. So
I remember you saying that. They got the 2 days mixed up. Is what happened, right?
yep. Dang. I was going through some old photos. We were talking about gators earlier. I caught a gator at I was in Keel Island actually. And they stock the ponds down there with drum. And I was drum fishing from the pier and I was throwing like a fluke or something, swim fluke. I was trying to look at it. It looked like it was pearl white. But baby gator hit it and I had to drag his ass up. Cut
Nice.
the line. They're all over the place down there, man. Obviously, they were inland there, but I mean, you're a quarter mile from the beach.
What's y'all's favorite tide to fish?
I like the 2 hours prior to low tide.
Anything but
I like that.
dead high.
I like that, and I like dead low. Like get out there, like right at like peak dead ass low tide, just peak dead low tide.
I like the water moving, so I really like 2 hours prior to low tide, and then right as the tide starts to rise.
Right. I want to be out there like when the tide starts to rise. That's what I was getting at.
Gotcha. Yeah, so that's that 4 hour mark right there. 2 hours prior,
Everything
2 hours
comes to
before,
life.
2 hours after. Man, that's fire always.
Yeah, that's why I thought I had you beat in our last fishing tournament.
Hey, I was pacing myself. I knew the prime time, baby.
Lucky. I never tell Pete that he can't do something.
Tell JR the story. No one will believe it.
Yeah. So, well, we were supposed to go snapper fishing, and obviously we didn't do that because it was blowing 35 mile an hour and 8-footers. So we decided to go to a secret spot in South Carolina that Pete knows of.
Yeah.
And we had a little flounder tournament from the inshore. And day one, first of all, I did beat you day one.
You did, but it was not a keeper, So
Day two, we did the same thing, and
we fished our asses off on day two.
we did for like 3 hours, and it was just I can't remember. I think the tide was coming in because it might have been close to high tide when you actually got your tube back.
So I remember because the bank, we saw more and more shells on the bank, so it was falling tide. And I think when we started catching there towards the end was about that 1 hour prior to low. But continue.
We fished 3 hours. I caught one croaker.
So what are you guys targeting? Trout?
Well, we were targeting flounder.
We were targeting anything edible because we wanted to fish that night. That's what it came down to.
And I caught a croaker, and I was like, oh, I know I got him. Like, I mean, it was just tough fishing. I mean, literally, I casted the 500 times with From pearl white to new penny.
So my man catches a croaker and he thinks he's got Pete beat.
Well, because we were about to leave. I mean, it was getting close to time to leave. I was like, I got this in the bag, and I'd had a couple.
Man, he probably already had that thing in his live well, whatever it was.
Dude,
we were fishing.
He said 5 more minutes. He said 5 more minutes, and then he cast. He was like, "Oh, I just missed one." He cast right in the spot, and literally, no joke, 20. I think the first one was a 20-inch flounder.
Yeah.
Were y'all on the same boat?
I mean,
we were fishing on the bank, dude. Like,
oh, y'all were on the bank. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, shit. Well, I got like less than 5 minutes. I gotta hurry up. And he's like, I'm gonna catch another one. I was like, dude, we haven't caught anything all day. There's no way he's about to land to you. Next one, the second one wasn't as big though, right?
It was about 17, 18 inches.
19, yeah, 18 inches. Caught 2 fish in like 3 minutes. So we had
yeah.
been fishing for 3. I mean, literally, I think we got out there at 9:30 and it was 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
JR, I kid you not. I said last cast.
Last
cast.
I believe it because you shared a photo the other day on Facebook. It was a memory, and you had a haul of flounder. And I've never been the flounder fisherman. I've caught flounder, but I've never actually, like, the times that I actually went out and targeted flounder, the times that I've actually targeted flounder, I'm pretty sure I've never even caught a keeper when I targeted flounder. I've caught keepers when I haven't targeted flounder by bycatch or, just bullshit fishing, but actually going out and targeting flounder, it's tough.
It's tough. I'm gonna tell you, JR, the secret if you want to catch a pile of flounder like that. So that was not a rare occurrence. Me and that guy in particular, and several other friends, back when we used to be able to keep flounder, we'd go out there and we'd fucking crush them day after day. Some days are tougher than others. Don't get me wrong. A lot of moving and jumping around spot to spot, but it's not what you would think, man. A lot of people think that you want to target flounder in the summertime. You got to fish backwaters, but our best flounder fishing is about 2 miles offshore.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
See, all the flounder fishing I've done's been like in the backwaters, and
and so that's where we've gone wrong. In the summer
I've actually got off my kayak and had a light shining off my kayak and like walked it alongside of oyster beds, like with a gig. Like trying to gig flounder.
In the summertime, your best flounder fishing is 2 to 4 miles offshore.
Oh, wow.
Listen, last year, last year, my uncle and aunt came down. Actually, I think it was the trip when I come out there and looked at what was watching y'all at the weigh-in. And Andrew called me. It was about 11 o'clock that morning. He said, Wes, they're killing the redfish right now in the inlet in Little River. I said, really? He said, dude, they are fucking slaughtering the redfish. I've never caught a redfish down there. So I told my Uncle BC, I said, come on, let's go get on the boat. So we went and got us some shrimp. When we're going out to the inlet, everybody was on the right side going out of Little River. Dude, and there were people with I've never seen nothing. Every rod out there was bent. They was killing the redfish. We get out there right past the inlet, right past the riprap. I put the trolling motor on anchor lock, turn around, and dude, and I didn't no longer than get a damn piece of bait on the hook. And I looked to my right, my Uncle BC, he said, Wes, he said, it's over. I said, what? He said, look over to your right. And I looked over to the right, and I bet there was 50 dolphin in there.
Yeah.
But this is over. And we didn't catch a fucking fish.
Yep. Damn dolphin will ruin every damn thing. Always.
It run. I mean, dude, they were everywhere.
What kind of shrimp did you said you had shrimp? What kind of shrimp did you have? From bait shop or from Walmart?
No, they were dead. No, they were dead shrimp. We're just gonna cut bait.
Where'd you get them from?
Johnny's Bait and Tackle down there, right at
Were they in a tub, just frozen in a tub?
In a round tub.
Yeah, the best ones to get are the fresh ones from a bait shop that they got them on ice, like they're freshly caught, like big, the jumbo with the heads on.
Yeah,
fresh shrimp definitely matter for sure.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. I know everybody left. He said,
I like to put them on a jig head, and I like to take my boat and just pull up onto some sawgrass, and they like cast out into the middle of a creek and just bounce a jig head with a big ass fresh shrimp on it. Just bounce.
That's what we do in Venice. Dude, there's so many fucking redfish down there. It's unbelievable.
That is not the way y'all do. Y'all use popping corks in Venice. That was all new to me.
But with a jig head on it.
Well, yeah, but it's a popping cork. Yeah, I never done that. Like I always just cast a jig head out on the bottom and like work it back on the bottom. That's why I couldn't cast for shit. Like Mike taught me how to cast, like, because Mike was out casting me every time. He was up on the front of the boat and he was just launching missiles after missiles. And I was like, dude, how are you getting that much more distance than me? And I was letting like this much line out to cast, and he was letting out like 4 or 5 feet of line. And then he was just whip casting, and you let out 4 or 5 feet of line with a popping cork on it, and it makes that the leader with the popping cork, it like slings it forward and like keeps it straight through the air, like when you let out a bunch of slack before you cast. It was wild. I never had a problem outcasting people before, but Mike is like 10 years older than me and was just whipping my tail.
That place is just, it's literally fucking eat up with redfish. Have y'all ever been to Venice, John, Pete?
Never have.
But the thing is, though, Wes, is like everywhere's eat up with redfish. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean, Venice though is eat up with every fucking thing. Fucking mangrove, red snapper, wahoo.
That's fire. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
Merle's Inlet don't have all that.
Hell no.
Fucking huge trout, you know. And then JR, they say there's certain parts, if you're talking about like salinity of water, when you find the right water condition, you're liable to find 15 or 20 different species within a mile where the Mississippi comes into the salt water.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
You'll see largemouth bass out there with fucking redfish. I mean,
that is the mecca of it. That has to be the best fishing in our entire country.
they have those sail cats down there.
Is what?
A sail cat. Have you ever caught one of those?
I've caught top sail catfish. Yeah. Yeah. They call them, there's another name for it. There may be a different species, but they look a lot alike if it's not the same species, but they also call them a hardhead catfish. You catch a lot of those in the Gulf too.
Yeah, I've caught them in Tampa.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I remember the first time I caught one was at an oil rig. I think we left out of Pensacola. We were out fishing some oil rigs, and I caught a little catfish. Yeah, I caught a little catfish, and there had been a hurricane. I think it was Hurricane Matthew, maybe. And I told my cousin, dude, they just had a hurricane recently. I guess it washed some of those catfish out all the way out here. I had no idea there were saltwater catfish.
Yeah, I was catching them. I was like, look at this cat. I was like, you got catfish in your ocean down here? And the guy looked at me like I was stupid. He was like, man, that's a sail cat.
I bet you they're good eating. I bet you they are. They have to be.
I tossed it back. Didn't put up much of a fight.
Yeah, we tossed ours back.
Wet dish rag, right?
Oh my God! It didn't put up much of a fight, probably because you were using heavy gear.
Yeah,
it was like 12 ounces.
A surf rod on probably like a 6 ounce.
So you catch a little 12-ounce fish, and you're like, it didn't even fight.
It was decent size. I was trying to find a picture of it.
Oh my God! Don't be a catfish hater, John. Trophy catfish are where it's at, brother.
I mean, the biggest catfish I've caught is a 25, 30 pound.
Yeah, see, that's embarrassing. Like I wouldn't even
like right that. To me. I was like, what?
I wouldn't even. You got to at least lie. Like
when he got to the boat, that was it.
John, you got to learn to lie, like Pete and Wes. That shit's embarrassing, bro. Just don't even admit that.
No, I mean not.
They don't fight for
I wouldn't mind catching a 50.
Just lie like Pete and Wes does and say, hey, I've caught plenty of 50+ pounders.
You know what's crazy is all these striper tournaments.
They were as big as Volkswagens.
Dude, all these striper tournaments, I hear of guys catching catfish and they're like, oh, we caught 2 cats, didn't catch any stripers. I'm like, dude, I think there's been one tournament I've fished in where I caught a catfish. Like, I don't know, maybe they're using.
Well, yeah, I mean, it pisses me off too when probably. If you're targeting a species and you catch any other species other than the species you're targeting, it sucks. If I'm striper fishing in Tennessee and I catch a walleye, like I don't give a shit about that walleye. But it's an awesome fish. I should be happy, but I'm targeting striper. I don't want to catch something.
I'd rather catch at least something than get skunked. So
that's where catfish come in.
I would rather get skunked than catch a fucking catfish.
I'm pretty sure the only time I got skunked from striper fishing in a tournament, I caught a catfish and I was like, what the hell? And I never catch them.
I can't stress this enough. I hate catching catfish too. I'm a trophy catfisherman, and everyone gets that confused. They think that I'm a catfisherman, and I'm not. I hate catching small catfish too.
Catfish is a catfish.
I hate them as much as anybody else. I'm after those slobs, man. Those giants. I don't care anything about anything else.
Hey, y'all, tell me what this from. I come across this video earlier. I don't know if you've seen it on my Facebook page. Tell me what this reminds y'all of.
The sound of Grandpa trying to start the two-stroke in the morning. The sound of Grandpa trying to start.
I didn't hear the sound.
I didn't hear the sound.
That's a horse.
The sound
Bless
of
you.
Grandpa trying to start the
I've heard
two-stroke.
some.
Sounds like a fucking Ford.
I'm the only one in this chat that still
The
has a
sound of
two-stroke.
I used to have a two-stroke.
I love the
Everybody
smell.
used to have one, John.
Four-stroke
They
is
didn't
the
come
best
out with
thing.
4-strokes till like 2004.
No, I mean, like my last boat was a two-stroke 2 years ago.
What kind was it? Optimax, Evinrude.
No,
E-Tech?
it was a Johnson 90.
No, Honda come out with 4 strokes in the
A Johnson
middle
90. What year?
Hey, we got no viewers. Let's go backstage. Shut it off.
Okay, that was a Suzuki. It was whoa. That was a two-stroke.
Yeah, it was a Johnson outboard. It was before the Ficht or after the Ficht. I don't know.
So it was a Johnson two-stroke. You
Yeah.
said it was a 2003.
2003.
So that was one of the greatest two-stroke outboards ever built.
I heard it was bulletproof, and I never had any problems out of it.
Yeah,
but
Bombardier had bought OMC. You know, OMC was Johnson Evinrude. Well, they weren't doing good, so they sold out to Bombardier, which owns what is Bombardier? Sea-Doo? Is it Sea-Doo?
yeah, Bombardier,
Can-Am?
Sea-Doo, yeah.
Yeah. Am I mispronouncing it? Is it Bombardier?
It's Bombardier, yeah.
You know, I've always heard that if you don't know how to pronounce something, then pronounce it with
Add
confidence.
a little French to it.
Add a little French. That's right.
So
Bombardier
pronounced
is a
it-
Canadian
I
company.
mispronounced it with confidence. Okay.
Hey, JR, the first outboard 4-stroke outboard motor was offered by Honda in 1998.
Yeah, those were extremely rare though. Like they didn't really come onto the scene until the early 2000s. Like
I know.
nobody,
I remember
nobody knew anybody with a 4-stroke. And
I did.
There,
Pete Hilliard,
there it is.
Pete Hilliard had one on his boat.
There you go. Yep, that's definitely. How do you pronounce it, John?
It was the Bombardier. It had
Bombardier.
Bombardier.
Bombardier. Okay.
They make the jet skis.
Their quality went up dramatically whenever
Yeah, it had
Bombardier.
It had a little
bought them.
Bombardier.
There it is. That's it. Yes, sir. I had one.
Which one
I had an
they
03
use?
Johnson.
You know,
Mine
there
was a
for a
Tiller.
while. There for a while, you had a lot of these marine mechanics back years ago before 4-strokes really got popular. Some of these younger marine mechanics were working on 2-stroke motors that was older than they were.
Yeah. Well, the
They-
guy
they
that
lose-
worked on mine, I mean, he's told me he's like, dude, these things are bulletproof. I mean, it was a gas guzzler. That was like
Well, yeah, all
the-
2-stroke carb.
the biggest
2-strokes are
thing,
gas
you know,
guzzler.
and it didn't really have the torque. I mean, going from a Johnson 90 horsepower 2-stroke to a 300 Yamaha, it's
Well,
big
yeah,
difference.
That's
Like,
apples and oranges. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, so I didn't, but I just remember going to 4-stroke. I was like, oh my gosh, I can think on the boat. And like,
Right.
like,
Go
Oh my
4-stroke.
God, dude, you're so spoiled. Jeez, that's like bragging about like being spoiled.
yeah, I guess it was just
Yeah.
it was a nice feeling.
That's one thing to be, to brag about going 4-stroke. Really.
I can remember back when I
I
used
finally
to.
made it.
I can remember when I used to be a man.
Right. I'm in the club now.
I
Yes.
made it.
Yes.
The only thing I miss
I'm no
about
longer
a
burning
4-stroke,
oil, motherfuckers.
I miss the smell.
That's right.
I love the smell.
You
of
ain't
them,
mixing
especially
gas.
when
You ain't
I
hauling
do.
ass.
I do like the smell, and Straight Bass Challenge used to give out clots,
Yeah.
2-stroke oil, and that stuff. Man,
Yeah.
you're
You're not going to get that smell from a
It
4-stroke.
smelled like a '78 Camaro, just like musk,
Exactly. Like a man.
like a Grandpappy's Old Spice.
Yeah.
Like a man. Exactly. It's a man. It's a man.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, I still.
Like
Hey,
a little Pert Plus on there.
hey, I like Old
Plus.
Spice. Believe it or not, I like Old Spice.
Oh,
I,
my
I was
man.
laughing. I was
My
laughing
man.
with somebody today. I was like, "When's the last time you saw some Pert Plus?" I was like, "My grandparents."
Oh,
Hey, wait a
God.
minute, I like Bert. You talking about the green shampoo and the
Yeah.
Obama?
Yeah.
I still
Pert
got
Plus.
Bert was the first Pert was the first conditioning shampoo. It was conditioner, shampoo, and one. You only had to use one thing.
Yeah. It was the first man shampoo.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I like Pert and Old Spice.
So look, so then we started Googling. I was like, vintage Pert Plus, and somebody was selling one on eBay because I was like, this is the bottle. This is what my grandparents used to have. This is what I had to wash my head with. Yeah, it smelled like licorice or something. It didn't have a smell. Sorry, Wes, if you like Pert.
No, it don't smell like licorice. Who told you some shit like that, dude?
Oh God, I'm much older than you, John. I'm
No.
definitely older than you. Because it wasn't my grandparents; it was my parents that used. I was using Pert Plus when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I don't know what I had. No, yeah. See, that's the
Oh,
new.
that's a modern.
the
Yeah, that's
new
like
model.
some
I'm
new.
talking about
That's-
I'm talking about the vintage.
He's talking
like,
about the round,
the-
the round cylindrical bottle. Yeah, lighter green. It had a lighter green on.
And then we were talking about bar soap, and I was like, I'm pretty sure
Safeguard.
my grandparents had Lever 2000. Like,
Lever 2000.
I remember
silver
that.
box.
I remember those now.
Oh
like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
had
I still
Had a
be.
vintage throwback shower
Yeah,
day.
man, nostalgic. Yeah, I'll be. There it is. That's it. That's it.
eBay. Somebody wanted $20 for it. It expired in like '96. I was like, gee.
Hey, dude. Hey, you know how much they want for it on here? On eBay, $126.
Oh
I mean,
my
yeah.
God, Pert Plus is
It's
like
crazy.
popular, huh?
Well, I think people, what I saw, people were buying. They were like movie props. You're recording a
Yeah.
90s film.
That's not a bad idea.
People buy them for that. I'm like, damn. I bet my grandparents probably have some under their bathroom sink.
Damn.
I don't think I told you guys about this. Pete knows about this. So I fished this billfish tournament. July something.
Oh boy, here we go.
And I was on a 45-foot Sea Hunter center console, biggest center console like in the Charleston area. This guy's like young guy, captain down there, and my cousin's good friends with him. Like they're like best friends. And he was like, look, he wants to get into some tournament fishing. You fish the big rock. He knows where to go out here, buy a seat or whatever. So this guy was selling 6 seats for the tournament. It was like, I don't know, $1,500 per seat, included fuel and everything and tournament entry. And so it was me and my cousin, and we had this old guy named George. He was just like a money man. He bought 4 seats. He didn't fish the entire time. He just sat on the boat. So we go out and fish.
4 seats at $1,500 a pop.
Yep.
He's a gambler, huh? He's a
Yeah.
gambler.
And another funny story after I get through this one. So we go out, and he basically said, hey, look, we're going to target all the game fish first because that's where we're going to win our money. Munchies, and then we're going to do the billfish. And he was like, if we don't get a billfish, it's the next biggest game fish. There was only 4 other center consoles. Weather was rough. So we were like, we're going to win, 16 grand, something like that. And so we get out there, we caught peanut dolphin. It might have been 2-4 pounds, something like that. So then we started targeting. We moved it to a different area. Kept getting bit off. All they have down there in Charleston is blackfin tuna. Kept getting heads of blackfin tuna. We finally got like a 4-pound, 5-pound baby blackfin tuna. I mean, just it might have been 16 inches. Caught a wahoo. It was. I sent Pete a picture. We never weighed it. This is to come. I said it was 20 pounds when we caught it. And then we ended up catching another like 10-pound dolphin. By that time it was 1 o'clock. He was like, we're just going to finish out the day game fish and not even worry about the billfish. So we come back in. We get stopped by DNR at the marina where all these there's 50 other sport fishes and 4 center consoles in this tournament.
Oh yeah, they're gonna pick on the CCs.
So the guy's like, he's just shooting the shit. We broke an outrigger on the way out. It was so rough. I mean, it was 5-footers at 8 seconds. And a 45-foot boat is still rough as piss. Beat the shit out of us.
Mm-hmm.
Broke an outrigger, and he's like, what happened to your outrigger? He's shooting the shit. Starts talking to you. Y'all weighed any fish in? We were like, well, yeah. Have you seen anything weighed in? He was like, nobody's weighed in a wahoo yet. And he was like, well, since y'all are weighing, he's like, I need to check everybody. Checks everybody. everybody's got a license. It takes 15, 20 minutes to go around. Everybody has to pull up their phone, get it out. And then he's like, I need your HMS permit, tuna permit, and your captain's license, all that. Well, the documentation he gave him was expired. And I was like, oh, here we go. I just paid this guy to go on this basically a charter tournament trip. And his shit's not up to date. He's like, no, it is. He was like, I don't have the printed documents. Can you take the one online? Yeah. He's like, no, it has to be a printout. He was like, will you allow me to go up there and print it out at the office?
Yeah.
So he runs up there, prints it out, and as he's doing that, here comes a 50-pound wahoo down the dock. And he gets back and he's like, got the paperwork. And this is going on for an hour. And you could just tell the tension, he was just like not. And I wanted to take pictures with the fish. I'm like, dude, we just paid money for this tournament. Let's go up and take pictures of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there arguing with the wildlife. I went to go piss. I come back. He had filleted the fish. I was like, damn, man, I wanted to. And my cousin took a picture of it. And that's the one I sent Pete as he was filleting it. He was like, I just wanted a picture of it because we didn't even have one.
Yeah.
And so anyways, we're at the dinner that night. And they're like, first place wahoo. 50 pounds. Second place wahoo, it was like 16.5 or 17 pounds. We didn't know there was a second place, and it paid $3,500.
That was y'all.
Could have been us.
That could have been y'all.
I say the fish was 20 pounds. Pete said, you said it was a teenage
picture without you even saying anything. I was like, that's 20 pounds at least.
Yeah. He said upper teens. So I immediately texted him. I'm like, and he had already left. I'm like, I think you just cost us $3,500, man. Like, I'm really pissed off you filleted the fish. Next time if we do this, like, let's weigh everything in no matter what. He was freaking out calling. Well, then because no billfish were caught in the outboard division, there was $8,000 in the pot that went to the next biggest game fish for a center console, which was a 14-pound dolphin. So we just lost out on $8,000 for billfish and $3,500 for the wahoo. I was just like, dude, I was so sick to my stomach. And I talked to Pete. Pete was like, man, that's why you always weigh fish, period.
You think it was because he was like just distraught from the stop?
I think the stop and
this kind of messed everything up.
I honestly didn't go back and look at the rules, but I don't remember seeing a second place. If I obviously I'd have been like, no, we're weighing this fucking fish because I only saw.
It's like anything else. Yeah, I've been there. I've done that. After a hell of a damn day, getting your ass beat, you're like, you know what? All I care about is going fucking home.
Yeah.
Washing the damn boat down, all that shit. So I can kind of understand. But at the same time, it's a tournament. You gotta have the tournament mentality. Weigh your damn fish in.
Yeah.
It's rough as fuck. It don't mean that everyone's catching fish when it's rough as fuck.
We talk to other people and they're like, man, you always weigh the fish. Like if somebody disqualifies, or for whatever reason, like they come back and DQ the 50-pounder, you get put in first place.
I mean, that's why I couldn't be a wildlife officer. Like if somebody showed me their documentation and I could see where they had gotten the permits, year after year after year. And he said, hey, it's up to date. I just don't have it printed out. I would have been like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that. That's fine. Bye. Have a good day. But no, he wanted to be a dick and make the guy go up there and print it off,
And made him go print it. I mean, we spent an hour with him and I could just tell he was like, and I also think he's a little bit younger. He's 30 years old. That's got a 45-foot boat. He's got a couple other, I think he's got a 35 Everglades. He runs a pretty good, successful charter business down there. But I think it was more like a, hey, I'm not going to weigh a small fish type deal.
Let his ego get
It was the ego thing. And, I kind of got that whenever I had said, hey, I'm going to go, let's go take a picture of the fish. He was like, hang on. And we did have the dolphin have to be 21 inches or 24.
Yeah.
We had one that was like right on.
I can't stand fishing with guys like that, man. I
got
to buck up to him.
He was like, I don't even want to get the fish out. Like, let's just chill. And I'm like,
nah, bro, I ain't chilling. We're gonna take this picture right now. That's what we're gonna do.
$1,500 back.
Hey, y'all want to be on the boat with me and Wes? Wes is like, we gotta get this fish back. And I'm like, nah. What we got to do is take a 5-second clip of this fish before we let it go. Now
he ended up, I think the gas was like $1,200. He didn't charge us anything for gas, but
listen, if you're going to be a content creator, if you're going to be a guy that likes to take pictures and have memories and have video, and you got you,
Dude, we had a videographer on board.
Oh, really?
So the guy,
that guy should have stepped up, man. He's got to step up.
His stuff's called Wild Drift Company. He owns an apparel company and that guide service, Four Sons Charters. But he found an intern from Clemson that wanted to do like outdoor shows, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'll take you fishing, all these unlimited trips, pay for your meals. I'm not gonna pay you to come work for me, but you can get all."
Sounds like what Wes does with me,
dude. It was crazy, but like, I mean, this guy, I mean, he had the drone out there. He's got an $8,000 camera out there with bags over it, and
yeah.
And I honestly didn't see if he ever created anything from it. He was pissed off about it too.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard if somebody wants you to make a video, but then they don't help you get the footage required to make that said video. It's not gonna. You can't make something out of nothing. Somebody's got to. That's what I try to explain to Wes or anybody that wants me to make a video.
Fuck a video.
Wes wants to go.
Right.
He wants to go do a trip. He don't want to capture any B-roll. He don't want to go out of his way to make it. And I'm like, but you want a video? Oh yeah, I can't wait to see your video. I can't. He'll be calling me. Hey, you got that video done yet? And I'm like, what video? We didn't get any. You didn't want any footage. Remember when I wanted you to get that one shot? And you were like, we'll get that later.
Well, hell, my brother, Dieter Melhorn can make something out of nothing. I mean, I figured you could too.
I'm not Dieter Melhorn.
Damn.
I'm a self-taught. I'm self-taught. Dieter has experience. Okay. JR is 100% self-taught. I'm like, I'm dumb. You got to help me out.
Help him out.
Yeah.
There's so anyways, and the 75-year-old man that was on board with us, so he never fished. He sat like in the rear facing.
Yeah, let's hear his story. What the hell is he doing? Why did he buy 4 seats? What's this guy's problem?
Because he thought he was going to win. We were splitting the winnings. 1/6, and so anyways, he thought that we had a shot to win, so he was going to win money. But
I bet he was pissed knowing that
he just wanted to be out there. Like apparently, like he hadn't fished in like 20 years. He called this guy up, and wanted a charter, and he's like, "Well, I got I'm fishing a tournament that weekend." He's like, "Well, I'll buy all the spots." He was going to buy all 6 of them.
Well, it looks like the captain would have swallowed his ego, knowing that.
Look, and so then his 75-year-old man, we finally get back, and he's just sitting there the whole time. He gets up, he's pissed himself because he hasn't stood up the whole day. Like,
oh my God, really?
Pissed himself.
Damn, this dude's like, this is like, it might have been his last fishing trip.
Like West Rose,
definitely his last fishing trip. 6 a.m.
Damn, Wes, he said that was like West Rose.
And then they had to call a golf cart down there to get him out, oh my God, he couldn't walk. And then so my cousin was there, so my Uncle Don, he drove him home. He was like, I gotta drive this guy home. Like, he's not gonna be able to drive. He can't even walk.
Well, why? What was wrong with him?
Well, he got beat to shit, man. It was 5 footers. I mean, literally, it was.
He was 75 and probably wasn't in the greatest shape, and went out there and got his ass kicked.
Probably top 10 rough, top 5 roughest I've ever been out there in a big boat. So
they shouldn't even took that old man out there in that.
They should have had at least
it's his choice though. It's tournament.
But you got to have a beanbag. You got to call it. Hey, bud, listen. Call up one of your fellow captains or your buddies and be like, "Hey, man, listen, I got a 75-year-old dude. I need to borrow a beanbag."
The videographer got sick. Yes.
Yeah.
Videographer got sick.
That's why you didn't get a video.
No, I mean, he was recording.
Yeah.
I've actually got. Hang on. Here you go.
Did he ever put together anything?
I have my footage. Hang on.
You just got some footage. Did he ever edit a video?
I don't know. Let's see if present, share screen. This is on.
Shall we not go live anymore? Do we have any viewers? We're at 0, right? It's just shut down.
Says we got 5. We'll get our views after the fact, Pete. We may not get any live, but by tomorrow we'll have several hundred views tomorrow.
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
see this?
I don't see nothing.
No, I don't see anything.
It says sharing.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh,
Got
hold
one
on.
to
Yeah,
show.
we got to add it to the. Yeah. No, Wes has got it.
All right, so the guy. Here's the,
That calm day. What are you talking about?
there's the old man.
That's rough.
Man,
Dude, we're in a 45-foot boat with
We're
quad.
at 45, Pete. That's rough as shit.
This is like a quick GoPro edit. I have no clue what what's on here.
Yeah.
Hey John, next time we do like a seat like that, let me know in advance. but I'm not
Look how
Did
big
let
that
you
boat
know.
is. And the colors out there are just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we were 60 miles out. I mean, look at this 45-foot boat just rocking now.
Yeah.
Daddy. Okay.
That's my cousin. Oh yeah, here's where the outrigger broke on the way out. Nothing going. Yeah, that's some footage from that.
There was definitely a beanbag. I see a beanbag right there.
Yeah, that
Right?
was my ass.
That's
There
not
it
the 75-year-old man on it though. Where's that?
Definitely
Where's he
not.
at?
That was my ass.
Well, John, you game to go fishing on Tuesday?
That's why the guy
Man.
couldn't walk. John hogged the damn
Right?
beanbag.
Right? You mean as fuck, man.
That was, dude, that was on the way. I got my ass kicked. I was like,
Hey, quick question, John. On
Yeah.
a boat like that with quads, does like your starboard motors turn clockwise, port motors turn counterclockwise, 2 and 2, or how does that work with quads?
Let's get Will on this motherfucker. Come on, let's get Will on here.
Damn, we're
Hold on.
I don't know. I'm assuming so.
Pete, we're an hour and 46
So?
minutes into it.
So?
What do you want to get him on for like 5 minutes?
Probably. That's all right. We'll go backstage and bullshit for a little while.
If we're gonna go back, we might as well stay live. Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna damn fucking pussy out, then we'll go backstage.
No,
You know, you got to go back.
I'll hang out with you guys as long as y'all got something to talk about. As long as you're not relying on me,
No,
because
wow.
my show notes are
You're right.
extremely limited.
You're right. Well,
I'm out of show notes here.
We need
I would
Will out of notes. That's why we need Will on here.
I would
for
have to
fresh
like
content.
dig through like if you guys want to
Fresh
talk about anything interesting, I'm gonna have to dig through all these notes and try to find. Look, I got notes
fresh
everywhere.
content. Here we go. No one's watching anyways. We can talk shit, whatever.
I got some videos of Pete on here. Last year's King tournament.
Hey, show them.
She said-
Yeah, why not?
she said,
Hey, I'm trying to drag a lady down there for the King tournament, just so you know. You know.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh. How much younger? I know
Exact
she ain't
same-
older. Exact same age. Oh wow, that's
Dude, hey,
nice.
hey, true story. No bullshit. I am dating a chick right now that requires a special security clearance to date.
Wow.
Never in my life have I
kids,
thought about
How old are she's got to have kids? How
working
old
in
are
Quantico.
0 kids. None.
0 kids? Oh really? Wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Not a Quantico girl.
What's that?
She's not a Quantico girl.
I don't know what that means, but no.
I don't know what that means, but no.
Quantico. FBI.
Sounds familiar. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
not-
FBI. Yeah, yeah.
Not FBI, not CIA.
Quantico is FBI intelligence.
Did you learn that from a TV show,
What?
Quantico?
No. I used to date a girl. Her dad worked for the Secret Service, though.
Oh Lord, you and Pete have a lot in common.
You didn't
Hey,
share my
Pete,
video.
No, Secret Service is a different avenue, but I got to pee real quick. Right.
Any advice?
Oh,
Pete,
knock the
with
beer
that
over.
one?
Beer down. Beer down.
IPA down. And Pete be drinking them craft beers.
Look, here's Pete. Share my video.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
Is this it? Oh, dang, look at all them boats. Who's that guy? Is that you?
Yeah.
Is that Trevor?
Trevor, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah, he likes to fish with Trevor. There's Pete gapping something.
Woo! Let's go. That's it. He's in the.
What do we got? What is that, a wahoo?
No, it was king.
King. This is a nice king.
King.
Pete throwing the net right out there in front of Southport.
Lower out.
Fucking heck.
Did I hear you say that I'm drinking fucking crap beer when I walked away?
I said craft.
Crap. I was about to say. Fucking.
What are you drinking? Yeah, some kind of weird craft beer. I told you. I
I
nailed
got
it.
this bitch from Puerto Rico last week. I
Yeah.
fucking smuggled that shit all the way.
Beer connoisseur.
Hit reverse.
Too sick. Hey, Pete, remember last tournament that guy throwing that cast net?
The little 3-footer.
We went back to get
Yeah.
big lunch, and he was still throwing in the same spot.
Don't mind it. What's up, Will?
What's up?
Oh, another day, another day. I'm finally, we'll say my summer work schedule is officially over. I can't be more excited.
Yeah, you ready to go fishing?
I'm fucking ready, man. God alive. I want to go Tuesday.
You know who he looks like? The guy right there that you fish with? I think
Cody?
I met him. Cody. Yeah,
Cody.
yeah. Yeah, he reminds me of what's his name? The UFC fighter. Is it Roy Nelson?
Conor McGregor.
Cody's the brains behind the operation.
Yeah, you crazy as fuck. You crazy as fuck, man.
I'm just messing.
That's all the fishing shit I got, man.
I couldn't ask for a better dang fishing partner than Cody, man.
Oh, here's
because
some Nick Hartwell shit.
he don't say nothing. You know, you get some guys that are like,
Look at all
hey
those
man, we
rods.
should do this, we should do that. You know, Cody's not.
Hitler! I'm recording. I'm gonna have to redo this one.
He said it's fucking on fire.
Hell yeah.
That's Santee, right?
Santee. No, that was Hartwell, I think. Or it was,
I think it was Santee, dude. For
when
sure.
it was
That's Santee.
fucking foggy as shit.
Yeah, remember? Remember when I said marker number, whatever it was?
Hey,
Oh yeah,
Hey, Will, what's the name of your YouTube channel?
Oh Lord, I'll have to send it to you. I have to find it. I don't even know.
You don't know the name of your YouTube channel?
Mm-mm. Man, with TikTok, you just post everything on TikTok or Instagram. I haven't even. Man, I'm not that computer savvy.
Okay. I was gonna pull it up and play a video. I tell you
There's
what, I
some
can
good
do
stuff
TikTok.
on
What's your TikTok?
I think it's just willwhite.com, but dot spelled D-O-T.
Okay, let's see if I can find it.
Well, I haven't officially met you, but I have met your boat neighbor with Pete.
Oh, dude, y'all got to meet the Karen Mitchell.
Yeah. Did you
He
tell
was
him
all
that-
like, why didn't he just tell me y'all were buddies with him? I was like, dude, they shouldn't have to. You don't own the fucking dog, dude.
Did you tell him that we're fucking pissed off at his ass?
Oh yeah, I was like, man, I heard
Good.
you ran my fucking friends off. He's like, I didn't know they were your fucking friends. I should have said something.
Should have been a fucking clue when I said I'm gonna come back to fucking see Will later.
I know. I was hoping y'all were gonna come back.
Well, you never. I think you were like running late or something. We're like, yeah, well, fuck it. No. What happened was John had to dang play wife and kid duties.
I can't wait for Wahoo season.
That was
There's
sweet.
I don't know.
That was sweet. Oh, 80 wide barking off. It don't get no better than that.
No, dude, that's my favorite sound.
I like this guy.
Dude, you ain't never stuck yourself with a piece of wire trying to rig a bat.
All those
dude.
roller rods.
All the damn time, man.
God, that shit hurts.
Have you ever had like a piece of wire shoot back at your fucking eye?
Yeah, I've had one like stuck in my
Yeah, I have
eye.
one missed me by like millimeters. I'm like, whew.
Dude, yeah, that stuff's bad. Especially if you leave them in the floor. You got carpet and step on one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's a terrible feeling.
God, fuck bottom fishing, Pete.
This time of year, man, that's where it's at right now.
Yeah, dude, that's all I'd do if I was going fishing. Stroll down some, JR.
Okay.
I don't know what. I have to look and see what's on there. I haven't been fishing.
He was
damn
holding
long,
striper, man. He was holding some striper there.
Oh, that was a good day on Norman.
Right here.
Yeah.
No.
Was that Norman or
I'm
Baden?
gonna do it anyway.
Norman. It was freezing that day. It was like 20 degrees.
Oh, I remember that day. Yeah. All right.
No, nobody can do it like
Hey,
me.
tell
So
JR
bounce
who
plate
taught
with
you
the
how to
kick with the
properly
Z.
fish for Lake Norman hybrids.
Oh, yeah, no, you did for sure. You
That's right.
definitely put me on
That's
that.
right. Big Daddy did. Big Daddy. Big Daddy in JR's eyes. Sorry. Big Daddy in JR's eyes.
Yeah, he did.
What-
Definitely put me on that.
Look at that sunset, dude.
I am unhinged, unworthy, and distasteful
Oh, yeah,
to
that
mostly
was-
everyone I meet. However, I am
that was
loyal
a
to
good
a
one.
fault to anyone I find kindness in. I do not and will not fear tomorrow because I feel as though today has been enough. And I got no hate in my heart for anything, anywhere, or anyone.
Well, I'm gonna send you a photo that I took today.
And I think Fearing Friday has gotten off.
All right.
Awesome.
I'm actually holding off to put this on Facebook. So I was going to talk shit. It's going to be titled "Motherfucker Went Fishing, Didn't Even Let Me Know."
My motherfucker went fishing. Didn't let me know.
Swear to God, here it comes. I'm texting to you. I had it ready and everything.
That's funny as hell.
There he goes, coming to you right now. I'm gonna text.
Have any of y'all been fishing on the lake?
Not at all. Well, other than my crappy stuff there in the high
Crappy
rock.
stuff.
I bought a paddle board recently, and I've been trying to catch a big fish from a paddle board, and just let me go ahead and tell you that's damn near impossible.
Jesus.
You like that?
Yeah, that's a
Is
good
that
one.
not badass?
I done fell off
Yeah,
that thing.
no doubt.
So today, guys, I flew over Southport Marina, took a damn picture down there. There was an empty slip down there. I'm like, yeah, I took a picture, zoomed in. I'm like, that motherfucker went fishing, didn't tell none of us.
Shit, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I wish, but yeah.
I'll say
Hell,
that for
my-
another day. So just know that's coming at some point.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hell, my boat, my big boat dropped a damn valve the other day. I want to
Did
get the
it?
fuel in it.
Boats.
Yeah.
Right? Boats.
Oh yeah, break off another 10 grand.
I wanted to damn run down the beach here at some point very soon just to make sure my damn boat's good after the storm and everything. I mean, I hadn't really ran it ever since me and John went crabbing.
I'm going down tomorrow if you want me to check on it.
Let me know in advance. I'll have it drop it. And, I'll have him drop it. You can start her up and whatever. But yeah, definitely.
I'll be
Let's
down
be
there.
know in advance.
Man, this time of the year, it's a freaking shit show down there at the drop stack. If you want some entertainment in the afternoon, go to the marina in the summertime. Get you a lawn chair.
Oh, we saw some fucking credit card captain he had like a 30-foot Grady White or something. And it took him, he had to have the deckhand or dockhand help him get it in there. Took him like 7 tries.
I feel like you're dating next door Doc Karen there. Like I feel like you don't even know how to run a fucking boat. Be honest
That
with
boat
you.
doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's why he's sitting there
Seems
working
like
on
that
it.
kind. He just mad that we're fishing, catching his damn fish. The only damn fish he knows how to catch.
Dude, he wanted me to take him fishing. Like every time I go down there, he's like, "Man, you gonna take me fishing?" I'm like, "Dude," I said, "Man, I don't know. I'm weird. Like I fish by myself half the time.
I know every time I've seen you on Norman, you've been fishing by yourself.
Yeah, dude, I don't have to deal with nobody's got to be back
Right?
at the dock. Nobody's gonna be like, it's freezing out here. I'm
Right?
Spivey be calling you. You be calling Spivey. Y'all be talking.
Sometimes
Oh,
he's out there, but you know how the lake is, man. You got to keep everybody out your hole.
Everybody fishes the same hole.
Hey, I'll say it like it is, man.
All you A-rig guys fish the same spot.
And last year, I'm gonna say it like it is, man. Last year, me and Will were fucking up front. I told him exactly like it was. He told me exactly like it was. We had that damn little trust thing going on there. So
You both got skunked. You both got skunked when it come tournament.
Hell no, he wants some damn money. He stole my damn money, boy.
Yeah,
That's my money.
That's right.
My bad. Like fourth place or something.
My bad, Will. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
What'd y'all catch that day?
Yeah, we caught a bunch of fish, but we didn't catch any keepers. We were close.
Man, I was surprised when we got back. See you, Wes.
All right, we'll see y'all.
We'll see ya.
Good night, Wes.
Bye, everybody. Look, we'll see y'all.
All right, see you, man.
Bye, man. See you, bro.
Man, y'all had my head all fucked up in that tournament. You're like, dude, you got it made, man. You're the only one that's caught a fish, man. I ran that boat on the dash the whole way back to the ramp. I was like, I didn't fucking want it. And then old Towtown dudes walked up with that bag. I was like, fuck.
Oh,
so,
man.
I don't know if I told you all this story. I don't know if I told you all this, but that guy, Tal City Tire, his name is Chris, I think it is. He's hired me 3 times to fish. 3 times. He beat me in my own game.
Oh man. Don't be pulling your own chain, Pete.
Mr. Miyagi got beat up in that one.
He beat me the different compared to all of us. I'm gonna tell you what he did different. He trolled fast, and that's what apparently did it.
Yeah.
Really?
Man, my trolling motor can't take that, dude. I don't.
But he was using the big motor. He was trolling a 2.4, and that was getting it done.
I don't know about that, dude.
In the morning,
there had to be something else he was doing.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
There were other people trolling big motor though.
I'm telling you, dude. Hey, I talked to him regular. He told me exactly like. He don't bullshit.
I mean, he was right out there in the pack, dude.
He was right there exactly where all of us were. I say all of us, like me and you and a couple others.
He obviously he got down deeper. Was he running downriggers?
Nope. He caught fish. He caught all his fish before like 10 a.m.
Was he running downriggers?
Nope.
That's the same time I caught. I got.
Okay, well then tell us what he was doing. I want to know why he caught fish and we didn't.
4 miles an hour.
He wasn't the only person trolling at 2.4. My rule of thumb is anything below 2.5.
He was at the right place trolling 2.4. Leave it there.
What was he doing differently?
He was in the right place.
What was his baits?
Same thing as I'm using.
Striper.
Dude, hey, don't over fucking think this. I'm telling you.
That's what I do. That's what I want to know everything he was doing.
I'm telling you, exact same damn thing I do to the T. Except
so what you're saying, it was just luck.
It was speed. That day it was speed that morning.
You think he was the only one going 2.4?
I'm not gonna say the only one, but he was the only one in the right spot doing 2.4.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Dude, I did my homework for many days and exactly
People
where all
were in the same place. Hundreds of other fishermen. Everybody was down there.
Will, were there hundreds of other fishermen where we were at?
Pete, we saw you. We saw you.
Yeah, but Pete didn't start where he. Yeah. Where you saw him start is not really.
I think. But do you know that for sure?
Bingo.
Yeah, I knew that. I told you, sure. I fished every day leading up to that tournament.
So
me and Will communicated daily, and I told him exactly with zero bullshit what I think.
We pretty much kept up with those fish.
Oh my god! All I know is you got your ass skunked. Is what
dude?
You
we
got.
had them fucking pinned up like days prior to the tournament. We knew exactly where to go or not to go.
Yeah, you got zero.
For me, I promise you that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but if you would have started where you ended, that might have been a different story.
Dude, we smoked you. You know how many fish me and Spivey caught?
Hey, we caught fish. There's no skunk.
Dude, we smoked them. Yeah, we just didn't get any keepers.
There's no denying we caught fish, just not the right.
I thought y'all caught like perch and shit like that. I thought y'all didn't.
Well, Will, we did. Okay, we caught a lot of perch. All right, we did. We caught a lot of perch.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We hammered the perch. I told him my philosophy was, if there's perch here, there's hybrids here. We'll have to weed through them. We'll get a couple keepers, you know. Well, it didn't exactly pan out, but we did catch a lot of Magnum perch, though.
How deep were y'all fishing?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
We were fishing. We caught all of our perch came from, You know where that island is?
Yeah,
No man's
that
land.
Log Island or whatever.
Yeah, the island. If you go on past that, like if you come from the main channel, cut through the little cut there between the island and the shoreline, you keep on going down lake. There's
I'm
like
lost.
a mouth to like
I'm fucking lost.
a cove or
He's
something.
talking about that marker right
point.
there at
There's
the
a
corner.
marker. Yeah, there's a point right
Come
there.
out between the islands, and if you make a left, it takes you straight back to Slanton Bridge. That island on the right. I forgot the name. I forgot that marker.
But we were right
M3,
there on a point,
M3.
and
Yeah, I
we
think
were
that's it.
hammering. We were
M3.
hammering the Magnum perch. But I mean, we probably. I'm serious. We probably caught 30 perch, big perch. We
Did
just
you talk about M3 the day? I say 2 days prior to the tournament, I caught a nice 7-pound fish right there in front of the duck blind right there.
Yep. Then we went on south after that. We went south a little ways and saw Pete on our way down. And we ended up catching a couple 19 and a half, one 19 and a half, one 19 and 3/4 inch hybrids down around
What he
another
meant
island.
to say was he saw Pete and they decided to fish right there where they saw Pete.
No, we went on south past Pete. We went on past Pete. Yeah.
I don't know.
You want to talk about egos? Spivey has an ego. Spivey's not going to fish where he sees you. I mean, he may gather some information that he got from you and fish an area, but if he sees you in an area, no, his ego is not. It's not going to allow him.
Man, I was fishing down in the cave one time before I ever met him. He called me on Facebook and was like, "You catching them down in here?" Like, seeing me back in a pocket one day.
Yeah, he's very into it. He asks a lot of questions. He's like a sponge. Like he just
Right.
He's a lurker. He's a lurker. Say it like it is. He's a lurker.
He's
a
not
background
a
lurker.
he's not a lurker. He's an ally. Because I can tell you right now, when it comes to Spivey, anything you tell Spivey, he's not going to tell a soul. He's not.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd lie.
And he's going to get mad at you. He's going to get mad at you if you tell him something. Let's say if you were to tell him some tips or some places out there, if he finds out after you tell him, if he finds out that you told someone else, he's not going to be happy. Like he don't want it. He's not going to tell anybody. You don't have to worry about him sharing anything. He gets so mad at me if I tell anybody any common information about Lake Norman. Spivey's like, "Why did you tell him that?" I'm like, "Dude, calm down. It's.
I mean,
not
I
that
don't.
serious."
If I'm done fishing, I'll tell you. I don't know. You just never know, man. You tell somebody one thing and they tell everybody.
That is true. That is true. I speak from experience.
I know who to talk to, who not to these days.
I regret.
Right.
There's some guys that I've showed some places, and I 100% regret it to this day.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're spotting.
That's the only place they fish.
Yeah, that's all they remember.
This one friend of mine, coworker, I took him fishing. I showed him 2 or 3 spots. I showed him where to catch bait. I showed him a good place to fish, a couple good places to fish. Well, guess what? That is literally for the past decade. That's the only places he's fished. And he's took 1 million people to those places.
Now it's a community hole.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be. It was kind of a community hole before, but still.
But don't you know the challenge though? Like sending people there and like you go there and you fucking catch fish and you watch people fish near you and they don't fucking catch a damn thing.
Exactly. You can lead a horse to water.
Right. Well, I've been told.
I mean, that's happened.
I've been
But
told.
it really sucks when you're
last
that
winter,
guy.
and, you know, I'm catching fish and his ass is fucking watching. Like, what are you doing different, dude?
It's so
Okay.
subtle. It's
Well,
confidence.
artificial and live bait are apples and oranges, but
Yeah, on Baden Lake
you're
though.
well,
Remember
you're
that
targeting
damn
those
Baden?
little. Well, yeah, no, Baden, yeah, I fish artificials here.
Man, when the bite's going on,
I'm just not a good artificial
I'd rather
fisherman.
fish that lake anywhere than anywhere. That place is awesome.
Where?
Baden. Like when the bite's
Oh.
real good, man, you can catch some decent fish up there really fast.
I heard it's Baden's a good catfish lake too. Trophy catfish.
Oh God, why do you always have to bring that
Wheel.
up?
Oh, hey, dude.
Right?
What? That's awesome. Trophy catfish.
You and Huffy need to go fishing together, man.
We do.
Y'all-
Yeah.
Huffy despises catfish, man. He don't give a
No, he
damn. about it.
doesn't.
Because it's
No, he
available
loves
right
big
now, he's
catfish.
catfish.
No, he
Oh, no,
doesn't. You're
man.
crazy. Huffy
He's
loves
got
giant
those
catfish.
catch the fever catfish.
Yeah.
rods and
Oh yeah, he's in it. He's into
got
it.
it looks
two
like a
that-
Skittles
yeah.
bag gumming by you because of all the different color
Yeah.
rods.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, I actually made fun of him the other day. I'm like, hey, Huffy, man, what color crayons you got today?
Hey, he's putting his crayons to work.
Yeah.
He's been catching them pretty good.
Yeah.
Did he do pretty good? Have you talked to him since he got back to the beach?
I talked to him like a couple days ago. I talked to him,
Did
I
he
say
do any
3
good at
times
the
in the
beach?
last 2 weeks, maybe. He hasn't really
Did he?
fished too much per se, but he's busy at work right now.
Oh gosh, yeah, I ran into him at the beach. He said he's going to hit some spots in the river. I didn't know if he did any good or not.
Yeah, I think I talked to you. Actually, he texted me. He's like, "How am I here with Will White?" I'm like, "Oh, cool, whatever." But I sent him to one of my favorite flounder holes there at Lockwood, and I don't know if he actually hit it or not, but I saw no photos, so I guess that tells me that he did not didn't catch anything or didn't have time to fish it.
Right. Man, the flounder is so thick in North Carolina.
Man, I tell you, it's ridiculous, right? It's so ridiculous that we can catch them on artificial, right, John?
Yeah.
Dude.
Was that really your first time catching them on gulp shrimp?
I swear to God, dude, it's my first time ever casting gulp shrimp. Yes.
That's so funny.
They say
That's
those
so wild.
DOA shrimp are really good.
I actually swapped out. I've used it. I've caught them on DOA before, but they were not working on much.
I swear
that they were-
DOAs are a South Carolina thing.
Man. Hey, John, you just gotta wiggle that damn worm the right ways on is,
Well, listen, I caught the first one the first day and skunked your ass. So
until last cast.
Guys.
Yeah.
Man, I can't catch nothing inshore. I'm terrible at it.
Dude, I'm terrible at it too until the pressure's on. Then it's
apparently
game
that's
on.
where some of the guide money is, Pete. You better start sharpening your skills.
Will, why don't you go
Right.
trophy catfishing with me and Spivey on Norman?
Are y'all going to catch big catfish?
Yes. Yes.
Well, bring a lot of beer because it's gonna be
Yeah,
boring.
I'll get drunk. If y'all just want to go get drunk on a
Hey,
boat, let's just
Listen,
go get drunk.
Will, listen to me. Go with me and Spivey this weekend on Norman, and let's target trophy catfish.
Yo, hey,
Me and Spivey are the best trophy catfish
JR, I got a better idea.
go with on Lake Norman. We are.
JR,
we
I got
are
a better idea.
beasts.
Dude. Let's have this damn little crappie competition that we spoke of for so long this
You
weekend.
know what? Fuck that. Let's have a trophy catfish competition. Let's have a
Fuck
catfish.
no!
competition.
You've been talking so much shit about. Oh, I'm the damn best crappie fisherman.
Okay. When do you want to do it?
Let's fucking do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it Friday night. Tomorrow night.
I got a hot date Friday night.
See, there's
tomorrow night.
always an excuse.
Sunday.
There's always
Friday
an
night.
excuse with you.
Sunday.
I got my what do you want to call her? The security clearance chick.
Secret Service lady.
Yeah.
The TSA lady. That's what it is.
TSA.
It's the TSA
He's dating the
lady.
Secret Service lady that ducked instead of.
She couldn't. Yeah, she couldn't find her holster. That's
Damn.
her.
Damn.
Y'all are funny as hell.
Well, if you must know, nuclear engineer.
Oh,
Oh.
she's probably ran me off from the
Probably, actually. I don't know.
McGuire. I got run off from McGuire one time. Might have been her.
Man, that place is seriously the community hall. That is like
Nowadays, yeah, for sure.
that's like that girl at the bar. You know everybody's unhit, but you still want to go down there. And see what
That's what y'all like to fish. That's
I mean, I stop in there every now and then just to see what's going on, but I never.
It's the
stay
same
long.
fucking people over and over.
Yeah, it's the
Is it
same
not?
people you see down there
Same
all
damn
the
people,
time.
right? The same little bank rats.
Even the dude on the bank's the same dude. Man, you're back again.
all right, guys. Pete, are you happy? Are you satisfied?
Oh, we're all satisfied, right? Hey, don't be calling me out. Like we're
It's
all,
been
you know,
2 hours and 13 minutes, bro. I mean,
Hang on, I got one more to share for Pete.
Oh boy.
Let's see it.
oh, here, I'll
Was I
add it.
drunk?
Here we go.
No. That's when I whipped your ass.
Hang on, rewind it.
Nah, it wasn't anything at the beginning.
That's striper fishing. There's that freaking striper rod with
The ready rig.
the 2 ounce with the bead and the leader.
You know where this is, Peter?
Is this Cherokee?
That's Cherokee. That's Cherokee.
Nice.
Is it not Cherokee?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes,
look at
you
that
can-
hot boat.
You
right
can
there.
tell it's Cherokee by the bank. By the
Holy
banks.
cow!
Look at that fat ass hybrid, dude.
Damn, can you
That
catch
hybrid was
trolling up
fucking
there?
8 pounds.
That was huge. That was dang. It
a
looked
lot.
like a 12
We had-
pound hybrid.
We had fun that day. That was a lot of fun.
We-
That whole
yeah,
entire like
dude.
3-day period, dude. Every day in tournament
This
that we
is
all
where
fished was a
we
lot
didn't
of
break the video at the beginning. We broke off a 20 pounder at the boat, at the fucking boat. That one was 15.
Ugly Sticks and Mad Cats.
Holy cow! Where's that at?
Cherokee,
Where is that?
Tennessee, dude.
Oh
There-
my god!
Dude, we had a great day that day.
Look at that
We all
current.
did. Me and you both.
Yeah. Peter was, I mean, he was with an eyesight
Look at that
on
current.
this, but yeah, every pass we made through this one area, man, we hooked up every freaking pass.
That's
This is
wild.
where Chris misses the friggin' net. Cost
Is
us a
that-
fish.
Is that all live bait fishing?
Yeah, oh yeah, all live bait. I think the smallest striper we caught was 10 pounds.
Dude, Will, we were pulling artificial, and we
Here's
caught like
here's the bait we were using.
15-pound fish.
Oh, so y'all still catching them trolling?
I didn't show the size of it. It's when Lane started humping the boat.
Dang.
I mean, dude,
That's
that one
very
right there, that
cool.
was like I think that was a 12 pounder. That was
Yeah, that's a
short.
fatty guy.
Yeah,
How
that's-
far away is that from here?
4 hour. Well, from you guys,
4-hour drive, maybe.
4.5.
Sounds about right.
Dude, we had double ups, like getting lines tangled up. I was like,
Cherokee. Cherokee Lake. I'll have to look that up.
Mhm.
it's on repeat.
I'd like to go to Watery one of these weekends. I love
I
that
think it's
lake.
turned to mud. I'd probably hold
Oh.
off a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, guys, hey, it's been a great show, Pete.
All right. We're calling money out, man. It's all of us. This is a dang
Pete,
joint
man,
effort here.
It's time. It's about time to call it, don't you think, bro?
Call it. Call it.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for coming by, Will. Thanks for coming by, John. We'll
it's
see you
nice to
guys.
see y'all boys.
Thank you, two viewers. Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna get hundreds by tomorrow.
Hey, tell Will about next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, Will.
Tuesday. You game? I got
What's
some dang
next
group
Tuesday?
spots I'm dying to go to, man. I just haven't had
Oh
time.
Lord, I don't know if I can take off next Tuesday.
All right, let's just me and Pete,
Tuesday.
man. Weather.
Hey,
between
if
the-
you need a videographer,
Uh,
let me know.
You free on Tuesday?
Tuesday,
call it
yeah.
the Guggen Squad.
We'll try and make
Dude,
right.
squad.
Tuesday, are you paying?
We'll try and make it happen. We'll see. Am I paying? I'm broke.
I mean, if
I mean,
you're
I'll-
paying,
I'll
if you're
pay- I'll
paying,
pay
I'll
for
make a
fuel.
I'll make a video.
I'll
be
pay
your,
for
I'll be your
fuel.
free videographer. All right, guys, thanks for coming by,
All right.
Real Fisherman. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Wet dish rags